Hello, I'm Richard. You're watching Over and Over and Over Again. This is the Manchester United pre-match preview show. Hello, I'm Richard. Welcome back to Over and Over and Over Again, featuring everything to do with Arsenal. This is the Manchester United pre-match preview show. Unfortunately, it's a little bit different tonight. We was going to be having Danny on, Man United fan, but unfortunately he can't make it now. He's had to work late, which is a shame. But instead, I've got two great Arsenal fans instead. First of all, we've got Russ. Are you all right, Russ?
I'm all right, mate. Thank you. Yeah.
Good to
Pleasure to be on your show.
I think it's the first time you've been on this channel as well, isn't it? So
yes, yeah, I've been on everybody else's.
I think you have, yeah. So it's about time we got you on, and you've been really supportive to the channel as well since I started, which is really nice. So it's great to have you on, and of course my man Albert. I know he's been on a couple of times before, and it's great to have you back on, mate.
No, I'm glad to be back on, mate. You see, your channel's growing, man. It's growing. It's good.
It is growing, yeah. I mean, I'm trying. I mean, I say we're talking about it just before, wasn't we? You know, we've all had a little bit more time to maybe put into this at the moment with the whole situation going on in the world. So it's kind of brought us all together, which is nice. This is going out live on Facebook, on YouTube, and Twitter as well. So if you are watching, give it a like as well, the video. And if you've got any comments, you want to put some questions to anybody, just drop them in the comments box and we can go through that as we go along. I did have it all planned out what we were going to talk about, but obviously a late change of plan means that that's all kind of gone out the window to a certain degree. So I'm just going to have to do it off the cuff a little bit, but it's fine. It's the Man United preview, so we'll focus on Sunday's big game, of course. Really important game it is now as well. Now, what I really wanted to start was with you two guys is really, because I say you've not been on the channel since the start of the season. So just really wanted to get your thoughts on how you feel things have been going overall this season. Are you still as positive now as you were at the start of the season, or do you feel that maybe we've reached the point where the expectations of maybe need to change? What are your thoughts on that, Russ, so far this season for us?
I think it's a bit difficult, really, because we've had a lot of difficult away matches, which we haven't really sort of, not say put in a performance, but we've been underwhelming. Especially sort of against Liverpool, against Man City. We just sort of turned up and just sort of let them, we sort of rolled over for them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The game against Leicester as well. I know Leicester seemed to play well away from home. So, and they just sort of snuck the victory away from us, didn't they? I think expectations do have to change a little bit. We are still short of being able to compete at the very highest level. So, I mean, the challenge for top four is still open. I mean, no team has really been that consistent. So we've as long as we can get our act together, I could still see us challenging for a top four spot.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can. Yeah, I mean, there's so more teams now that are in the race for it. A few years ago, it was a top four, and pretty much you were guaranteed getting in it. Well, we were. Now there's 6, 7, 8, 9 teams, even 10 possibly, that could potentially get in the top four this year. So it makes it even harder. It makes every single point that you drop more important, maybe, especially to the teams in and around us. I mean, what about yourself, Albert? Are you sort of feeling that we need to change our expectations a little bit about the season, or is it going pretty much as you anticipated it might?
The first part you said is absolutely spot on. I think people need to sort of just slow down a bit, because even before the start of the season, I mean, my own personal view in terms of where we'd finish, I said we wouldn't get top four, because I felt that if they didn't address the midfield correctly, we're not going to do it. And there's a difference between being optimistic, which I understand, because obviously Mikel Arteta has given us that sort of green shoots of recovery sort of thing. But there's a fine line between optimistic and a little bit over the top. I'm not going to mention any names, and then I'll get a Twitter grade after me. But there was a lot of Twitter people that were getting too excited and top four, and I even dared hear the word title challenge. I was like, no, come on, let's slow down. We finished 8th for a reason last season, but I look at the first 6 fixtures of the season, guys, and I don't know what you guys think, but I thought minimum 12 points out of 18, which we didn't get, because obviously we lost at home to Leicester. Russ made a good point in terms of the performances against the big guys. Very, very underwhelming. Too much respect. Yeah, we beat some of the big teams the back end of last season, but those were in one-off cup games where anything can happen. But in terms of the improvement of competing better in the big games, it's flattered to deceive, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean that's been the thing for me. Although having said that, I mean it's not just in the big games. They had 2 home games prior to Leicester, Sheffield United and West Ham. 2 games that you would probably have expected us to win. I know we didn't do well against Sheffield United last year, but we did win them both. But we were slightly fortunate, you could say, in both of those games to win. So out of 3 of our victories, 2 of them have been a little bit fortunate. Fulham, I think, are the worst team in the league anyway. So let's not worry too much about that game. And then, like you said, we've played 3 of the teams in and around us, teams that we're challenging in the top 4 against. And we've come up short, and I think we've come up quite a bit short, actually. I know the scorelines haven't really reflected it, but we didn't create hardly anything against Manchester City. We didn't create much at all in the second half against Leicester and Liverpool. It was. I think it was a little bit more comfortable for Liverpool than it maybe the scoreline suggested, really. And I don't know. I'm a little bit frustrated in the way that we've approached the game. We seem to be. I think Arteta seems to be more focused on not losing than going out to try and win. And yes, you've got to get the balance right, because you don't want to get hammered 6-0 or anything like that by being over, throwing caution to the wind, if you like. But I just feel, Liverpool haven't been playing particularly well. As we saw the week after we played them, they shipped 7 goals. Manchester City haven't been playing that well. They'd lost 5 at home to Leicester the week before their last home game. And we didn't go at these teams at all. It was almost like we settled as though, well, as long as we don't get hammered, we've improved.
Yeah, it's very passive, very, very passive.
Yeah, and Leicester last week, the first half, I thought we had a bit of a go. We didn't create a lot, but at least we took the game to them a little bit more. But the second half was just terrible. And it worries me, obviously, with Man United in mind on Sunday. That's another game against a team that will be challenging with us in the top 4. I know we're ahead of them at the moment in the league, but they're going to be challenging us over the season. And I don't think we can afford to lose 4 in a row against 4 of the teams that we're challenging with this early in the season. I think if we do that, I think that's a pretty poor start to the season, and where we can maybe beat some of the worst teams later on. I don't know. We've struggled against everybody at the moment, but we've got Aston Villa, they're doing well. We've got Leeds, they're doing well. I can't see us at the moment the way we're playing, setting up, going off and winning 4 or 5 games in a row, which you need to be able to do. And Liverpool can do that. Manchester City can do that. Even Manchester United can do that. They haven't yet. They can. Chelsea are capable of doing that. You look at those teams and you think, Spurs. Leicester are capable of doing that. They had 3 wins in a row at one point this season, and I don't know. I just feel as though we're missing something. What is it? Do you think we're missing, Russ? There's something missing, isn't there, in the way that we're playing? Well, goals, but it's not just goals, though, is it?
It is. Goals win your games, mate. That's the main thing. You need to score goals, and we cannot do that. For whatever reason, there's a disconnect between the midfield and the strikers. Aubameyang's isolated on the left. He's not contributing, and he's basically, Lacazette, the goals are dried up. He scored in the first 3 games of the season. Nothing since then. It's just, it's boring. It's just, it's just no cohesion at all, and it's getting on my nerves, as you can probably tell.
No, I'm with you. To be honest with you, I was saying the other day that in the Premier League in particular, apart from the Fulham game, maybe I've not enjoyed any of the games watching them.
No, I think 100%.
It has been boring. I totally agree with you. We're playing boring football. And, you can maybe get away with that sometimes. We used to do it under George Graham. We'd win 1-0 and you'd go away and think, well, fair enough. But we're playing boring football and we're losing as well. And the two things combined, to me, it's not great to watch, is it?
I know. We were spoiled under Wenger, weren't we? We had great players. We had great free-flowing football. And then eventually the rest of the league caught up with us. The money ball started rolling, and all these other teams got all this money and everything. But we've got good players. That's the thing. We have got good players.
Yeah,
but we're just not creating anything.
The biggest wake up call for I think personally. I know it was only at the time. I think West Ham was the 3rd game in. I believe it was. That was a massive wake up call for anyone thinking that.
Yeah. No, it was.
We could get the top four because West Ham should never have lost that game. They were much better than us. I don't know how we got the 2-1 win, but we did. And following on from what Russ was saying, it is boring to watch, and that's and it's not just and that's not a dig at Arteta, not necessarily, because I look at Arsenal recent years, and I'm talking a lot of years, and even the back end of Wenger's reign, the football was not good to watch, man.
No.
If we used to do a highlights reel to say to each other, what's the most memorable game you can remember in the last 5 or 10 years? Would it be another podcast show? it is. I've not enjoyed the football.
No,
I mean, some of the stuff before the pandemic, Rich and Russ, right? When Arteta took over, it wasn't necessarily him, but obviously him inheriting the group of players that he had. But some of the games I went to were terrible. I mean, I'd have more fun going to the library.
Going to the dentist, probably.
Yeah, it was. Even in particular, the game, I remember we played Bournemouth at home. We played West Ham at home. There was awful games to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, Freddie couldn't even get a tune out of him, could he? So
it's
But no, I mean, I totally agree. And the games have been. It's not just this season, is it? It has been the back end of last season. It was under Emery before that, and yes, and maybe to a certain degree towards the last few years of Arsene Wenger. Although we did score a lot more goals then, didn't we? Even though we probably didn't have as many. You think some of the players we had playing then, players that the fans used to criticise quite a lot, Giroud, Walcott, players like that actually scored quite a lot of goals. And now we've got technically better players, you could say. Pepe's probably better than Walcott. Obviously, Aubameyang's better than Giroud. Even Lacazette's probably a better footballer than Giroud, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's different style, I suppose. But
it's a different style, aren't they?
I think we've got better players now, but
playing worse.
Yeah, well, we're not scoring as many goals, and we're not attacking in the same way. Maybe Arteta's had to shore up the defensive side of the game, which he had to do because we were shipping far too many goals. But even that, for me, we're still not keeping clean sheets. We haven't kept a clean sheet since Fulham in the Premier League, and so we're conceding at least one goal every game. We're not scoring enough, and it's like you can get away. As I said before, you can get away with being boring and nicking the game 1-0, but you've got to keep a clean sheet to do that, and we're not keeping clean sheets. I mean, who's confident we can keep a clean sheet against Man United with the attacking players that they've got? Do you think that's possible? I don't. Honestly,
I think we've got an issue at the moment, haven't we, lads? Because we've got a lot of centre backs out, and at the moment it looks like it's going to be like Mustafi and Gabriel at centre back. And with Luis, I think we could be in a bit of trouble.
Is he definitely out, Luis? Is he?
I think so. Yeah.
It's not looking good, is it?
I'm not sure. No. But I don't. It's not looking likely he's going to play, unfortunately, and that's a big problem because, like you said, we've got so many injuries in defence that it's going to be a makeshift kind of back line. Whether he goes with 3 at the back, whether he goes with the 4, either way, it's going to be a bit of a mix and match defence, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. It does worry me when the attacking players that they've got, as the problems that Man United have got, like us, their problems are in defence, aren't they? That's their issue. So,
that's the only good thing, I mean, their defence is about as good as ours at the moment, and they got Lindelof and they got Maguire, and their defence isn't that great. If we can get up and at them, we could score a goal. I'm sure even we could.
I'm sure we can score, but it's more how many we're going to need to score to win, because how many are we going to let in? That's what.
You know what? Yeah, answer to your question, Richard. We won't keep a clean sheet. If we do, I'll be shocked. But I think I've made a sort of general point before. With a lot of the defenses in the Premier League generally, there's the clean sheets are going to be dime a dozen, man. There's not going to be many, so it is going to be more based on outscoring teams and what you do in the final third. And at the moment, as you've seen with Arsenal this season, it's been a tough watch, man. It's been a very tough watch. It's not been the creativity, but the thing is, what it comes down to, in regards to things that need to change going forward. I personally want to see a more settled front three. There's too much chopping and changing.
What would your front three be then? Your settled regular front three?
Mine would be Aubameyang down the middle, Saka on the left of the three, and Pepe on the right.
Well, yeah, the potential's there. That
and I think with that potential, with that as well, Rich, I think, and Russ, is that with Pepe and Saka, they can interchange, because I actually think Saka might potentially have a long-term career playing on the free, but on the right-hand side, because he's played there before and he's done very well. And the thing with Pepe, as we said, I was going to say he hasn't got no right foot. But obviously,
last night he
did yesterday. Yeah, so he's got the ability, man. Like, I don't know why this guy doesn't shoot more, but I think I don't see why Arteta couldn't play him on the left of a free.
No,
there's no reason for him not to do that. But I think that'll be my front three. I think settled front three. Pepe to get a run of games, because Russ made a good point on my preview show with the Leicester game on my channel, where he's saying that I think the only game he actually started Pepe Premier League wise is Man City away, and that that's not easy, irrespective of their defensive worries. So I think he needs sort of an arm around him, and I'd like to see him get a few more run of games. And I think it comes back to the same thing which it always does with Arsenal recruitment.
Also Willian hasn't been playing well recently. He had a blinder against Fulham, didn't he? And then after that, he's just sort of, I don't know.
I mean, you say it with William, and I agree, but I don't think any of the front three have been playing well. That whoever they are that's been playing, Aubameyang's been off the pace. Lacazette's not played well. Nketiah's done okay. Saka's done okay when they've been in there. Pepe's been a bit hit and miss, but like you said, he hasn't really started many games. I thought last night, I don't know what you guys made of it. I mean, last night I quite enjoyed the game, actually, because there was a bit less pressure on a few of the younger players. I mean, Pepe had a reasonably decent game. He got that great goal. But for me, that sort of summed up his time at Arsenal. He can do amazing things like the goal, a few other good bits and pieces he did, but also he does a lot of really poor things as well. Bad decision making, or he'll try to do too much and lose the ball. He was having trouble getting past their fullback sometimes in the first half. Basically a League Two standard fullback. He couldn't. He was struggling to get past him at times, and yet he produces some amazing moments in game.
The goal,
and I think that game last night summed up his whole time at Arsenal. He goes from looking like a potential Cristiano Ronaldo to looking like a Sunday League player, all in the same game within 10 minutes sometimes. And
he is frustrating.
And I want to, you can see he's got the ability quite clearly, because he wouldn't be able to do the things that he does. He needs to try to maybe be a little bit more consistent with his performances in the game, and that's probably why he's not starting many games. That's probably why he's getting taken off when he does start. And I don't know what you think about it. I mean, last night, that to me, that just summed up his whole Arsenal career so far, and I can't see how it's going to change.
I think the first half yesterday, it was they came with a game plan to just sit there, didn't they? It was damaged imitation, so they're going to have a compact defence, compact midfield. For me, Pepe's not the type of player who's he's not going to unlock something. He's the one who's, if you want to play counter-attacking football, he's the one who needs to be running down the wing.
100%.
He's not going to get through a compact defence like that. And unfortunately, a lot of teams come to the Emirates and they just sort of try to sit there, don't they?
Yeah. No, exactly.
What they did,
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously what they did last night until we got the goals. It did open up a little bit more in the second half, didn't it? Because, I mean, even then, they didn't really come out much, did they? they seemed quite happy not to lose 5 or 6-0, didn't they? Just fair enough. I mean, where their standard, their level that they're at, I guess they probably came out of that quite well, realistically. We played okay. A lot of the young lads got chance. I mean, in terms of the game on Sunday, do you think that anybody from last night, any of the youngsters in particular that maybe got game time that haven't been playing much, do you think any of those have got a chance now of starting on Sunday, Albert? What do you think? Do you think any of them might get a chance, bearing in mind what Arteta's tended to go with so far?
Yeah, it's a good question. In terms of Arteta, what he kind of goes for, it's difficult with him because you never know who he's actually going to pick. Because he could throw in a complete spanner in the works come Sunday. But in terms of the youngsters yesterday, one thing I said about Reece Nelson, which I want to see more from him, is I said it before that he needs to have the aggression of a Wilf Zaha. People might question who he's playing against yesterday, but that's what I want to see more from Reece Nelson. Not just staying on the right hand side, he came over to the left as well, a bit more flexibility in the movement. It's in there, man. It's just whether whether Arteta trusts him, and two, are you actually going to give him some game time this season? And that when I mean game time in the Premier League. So I would think if you're looking at players, did anybody do anything to give the manager a thought or two? I would probably say Reece Nelson. Willett did okay, but I think with Willett, I know some people are waxing lyrical about him yesterday, but he really frustrates me about Joe.
He's got no end product, has he?
It's this decision making, Rich and Russ. I think to myself, even like I said, when he's meant to shoot, he passes, and when he's supposed to pass, he shoots. It doesn't. It's like it doesn't. There's not a trigger in him to say that's what I need to do in that key moment. And although he did play well, but there's still parts of when I watch him as I thought, do this. You can still do the simple things within the key moments of the time, the key moments of the play. And for me, still lacks that. But I would say Nelson, out of the youngsters, has given Arteta food for thought. Eddie, you know my thoughts on Eddie. I'm still not totally convinced, if I'm being honest. Like I said, I think there's just times when I don't know what he does for the under-21s because he doesn't replicate for Arsenal when he's in the goal scoring position. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure of him.
I mean, last night, what I liked about Eddie was he missed that easy chance, and then straight after he gets another easy chance, and he puts that one away, and that was quite. I like that about him because his head could have gone down, he could have got frustrated with himself, but he kept alert and he kept focused, and a couple of minutes later he gets that opportunity straight away and puts that one in and gives us an important goal. So, and he does. I don't know. I'm not convinced he's the answer, and I think if we want to be a top 4 club and we want to be challenging for the big honours, is Eddie Nketiah as our centre forward going to be the answer? Probably not. I think he's a decent squad player who can come on and get us a goal if we're losing or we need a goal in the closing stages of a game. Possibly he's done it a few times. He got the winner against West Ham, for example, coming off the bench. But in terms of starting games, I'm not sure if he was to start every week. I don't think he's quite good enough for the level that we want to get to. I don't believe. Not yet. He's not shown it yet. But a lot of these young, so that was the other thing I was going to come on to. I mean, I don't know what you think about this. A lot of these young players, they're not young anymore, really, are they? A lot of them have played a lot in the Premier League. Willock's an example of that. He's what, 3 or 4 seasons in now. He's been in the first team squad. Reece Nelson maybe hasn't been given enough opportunities yet. But these aren't 18, 19-year-olds like Saka and Martinelli. These are 21, 22, 23-year-old lads.
But it's like Ashley Maitland-Niles, isn't it? I mean, he must be kicking himself. He must think, I've gone to Wolves. I'll be playing every week. I just don't understand it. He wants to keep these lads, but then he doesn't play them.
Sorry, Rich. You see with Maitland-Niles?
Yeah.
What did you think of his performance yesterday?
He didn't do a lot, did he? He didn't stand out in the game. In fact, you hardly knew he was playing. I mean, I thought he was poor. Yeah.
I don't think he had a lot to do, to be honest.
He didn't. No, I mean, none of the defenders were put under any pressure.
No, not really.
He had a bit more freedom, but I don't think he used it particularly well. You didn't see him doing a lot in the game. I mean, a couple of times he got forward down the left-hand side and what have you, but I don't know. I didn't feel. I was quite underwhelmed with his performance, if I'm honest, last night. And that should be the sort of game where those sort of players should experienced Premier League players should be to the fore in a game like that against an opposition like that, and he didn't really. But
it's a good Rich. No, it's a good point, Rich, because at the end of the day, like for the Arsenal fans that have been clamoring for Maitland-Niles to start at right back or just be in the team regardless of whether he plays, you see him come in yesterday, and I'm looking at him thinking, Ainsley, come on, man, you got to do way more than what you're showing.
I
was very underwhelmed with Ainsley, man, to be honest with you.
I was. I was quite. I wouldn't say disappointing necessarily. It was a sort of game where I expected maybe him to shine a bit more than what he did. To be honest, he didn't. It was an opportunity for him. He hasn't got a lot of game time lately. There's a few of them that he thought, now's your time. Yes, it's lesser opposition, but go out there and show you deserve to be playing more regularly. And I don't think Ainsley did himself a lot of favours on that side of it yesterday.
It was one of those games for me. None of those players really play together on a regular basis. So for me, games like yesterday are just you win on talent. You've got a better team. You win that game, basically.
Tactics go out the window, really, can't they?
Exactly. Yeah, you should win that game. You win that game 98 times out of 100, don't you?
Yeah,
and that's just because you got better players. So most of the performances, you could sort of say, yeah, okay, well, you did whatever you did, but we scored 3 goals. We didn't concede any. Move on to the next game.
Yeah.
No, totally right, and then that is you're right. I mean, I set out his little tactics board on the chair, didn't he, yesterday? And it's like, what was the point in that against Dundalk? If you have to play a specific style,
exactly. If you have to play a specific style against a team like that, then you've got problems, haven't you?
Literally, what I would have said if it was me, if I'd have just said to him, look, there you go, your U11 are better than their 11 in every position. Just go out and express yourself, enjoy it, and you'll win. And even yesterday, they looked as though they were playing under some sort of restrictions, like the whole team's been playing all season. It's almost like on our watch along last night, Andrew was saying that it's almost like it's overcomplicating it. Football is quite a simple game, and I think Arteta's overcomplicating it a little bit.
I think Arteta does. I think he overthinks a lot of things. Yeah,
and I think last night that became obvious to me because it wasn't really till the second half when we were 3-0 up that any sort of tactics basically went out the window. Our 3 midfielders were playing 3 centre-backs at one point. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who was left wing-back, was playing in centre midfield, and they were all swapping positions a bit in the second half as, oh, well, we've won the game, let's just have a laugh. But they should have done that from the start and just enjoyed the game. And they seem to be playing inside themselves. I mean, not just last night. I think this has been all season. They all have. They're not allowed to express themselves almost. And what I noticed was there was a few pictures on social media. The goal that Aubameyang scored against Manchester City, I think it was in the semi-final of the FA Cup, and also the goal. No, was it that one? And the one he scored against Liverpool in the Community Shield. Yeah. When you saw the positioning of Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Kieran Tierney, and where Aubameyang was, it's exactly the same. It's almost like synchronised. Yeah, it's almost like a synchronized dance routine, and that's how we're playing. And it's ridiculous. Football isn't about that, is it? Football's about individuality, and it's about individual little pieces of skill. Not necessarily. Yeah, you've got to have a system, but not that rigid. It's got to be more flexible than that. I think the players have got to be allowed to think off the cuff a little bit more. And I feel like holding us back a little bit. It has done, I think, this season, and like as Albert said before, probably going back into last season as well. I think we've maybe dismissed last season because we won the FA Cup and we had some great results at the end. But if you actually think about it, even once Arteta came into, before lockdown, some of them games were, I remember Burnley away, the worst game I've ever been to in my life. It was dreadful. And there were quite a few games like that. And it's something that we need to change. I think we need to be a lot more. We've got good attacking players. The front three that Albert picked is a good front three, but equally we could pick a completely different front three, and it'd still be good. It'd still be quality, wouldn't they? Yeah. And we're not. We've got great players in. We've got the best options in the front attacking players, and we're not getting the best out of them due to negative tactics.
No, you're right. We've become like you talking about the playing style. We've become one-dimensional. Yeah, and I don't understand why when you've got better attacking players, and you've actually for once Arsenal have actually got a spine in the team. It's going to take tons of bed in, but you've got, what I mean, we've got Leno, there's Gabriel, Thomas Partey, and you've got Aubameyang. So we've not had a spine of a team for many a years. So we should. I can't understand how we're playing worse.
No,
it's crazy. I know the Premier League's not easy in like any game you play, but. Like I said, the football.
It's not really about necessarily the results. Yes, the results matter, but it's the way that we're playing.
Yeah,
and it's like we scraped a couple of victories, but we were lucky to do that. And that you can't keep on doing that. Sometimes you're better off playing well and losing a few games than playing badly and scraping a win, because that's not going to carry on. You're not going to. We're not good enough to get away with that, like maybe Liverpool were last season. They had a few poor games and won, but they can get away with that. We can't. Because if we keep playing poorly, we're going to keep losing games because we're not good enough to dig out results constantly. We can get the odd one or two here and there, and that's the thing for me. I want to see us playing better. Even if we lose a couple of games, at least you can be confident that if we keep playing like this, we're going to start winning. Whereas to me, even when we were winning earlier in the season, I kept thinking to myself, if we keep playing like this, we're going to start losing. And that's unfortunately what's happened. And it's more about the performances now, how we're going to play, how we set up the games, as well as, we need to win games. We can't afford to lose too many more, having lost 3 already. But I don't know. That's just what it is for me.
It's true. I'll tell you a good example of that. Even when we played Man City away, we're obviously 1-0 down. It's probably about 5 minutes left. Like where's the urgency? Like the worst that can happen is we lose 2 or 3-0 at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, Lacazette even when, I don't know if you guys remember, even when Lacazette came on, he was playing like in a withdrawn striking. I couldn't understand what was going on. We need to score. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what he's telling them. Like it's almost like the players have got a bit of a straitjacket over them, man.
Yeah,
I
think you're right. I mean, funnily enough, I was saying that after the Leicester game last week. I can't remember a time very often where you're 1-0 down at home in the last 10 minutes, not throwing a kitchen sink at it. That's what we always used to do. Yeah. And sometimes we'd get a goal and get a draw, or even get 2 goals and win. Sometimes we wouldn't, but you guarantee we would have a go at it. We'd throw everything at it. You'd get big defenders up front, do anything, lob the ball in the box, just pin the other team back, and there'd be 3 or 4 chances to score. And we might get lucky, 1 goes in. And we've not done that. 2 games in the minor Premier League, 1-0 down in the last 10 minutes. We've not done that.
And we haven't done anything. Yeah, it's true. I think even when we let the goal in against Leicester, it almost sort of stunned them, and it just Arsenal didn't create anything in that like 10-minute period. Nothing.
We didn't have one chance in the last 10 minutes, and at home, that's just. That's not good. I've never known Arsenal be like that before. And this is going back years and years. Even when we've had poorer teams in that, you can guarantee that if we're 1-0 down at home in the last 10 minutes, we'll be bombarding the goal. And sometimes you might lose. I'd rather lost 2-0 to Leicester, having a real go at it, than lose 1-0 and just not looking like we're bothering to try to get a goal back. I know Vardy nearly scored a second one at the end anyway, didn't he? When he got through it, and Leno saved it, but. We could have lost 2-0 without even pushing on at the end, which would have been ridiculous. But I'd rather risk losing 2-0, at least going for it, rather than just
losing. Being timid. Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
it's just insipid, isn't it? It's like when we go a goal down, it's like, oh, that's it, game over. Can't be bothered.
It seems like it at the moment. It does.
It does.
We just don't look as though we've got enough about us to take the game to the opposition. I mean, that's what worries me about Sunday, because obviously Man United have got goals in them, as we know. They've got penalties in them galore, especially with Mike Dean refereeing.
Mike Dean as a ref, yeah.
I know. When I heard that, I was like, oh my god, please give me Michael Oliver, man. Seriously.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes to score at any time, please.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's going to happen. But having said that, even whoever was a referee, this Man United team with the attacking players that they've got are likely to score against us on Sunday. I don't think there's any question about that. Like we said before, keeping a clean sheet is going to be really difficult. Even if we had our strongest defence out, I still think it'd be difficult to keep a clean sheet against them. So that means we are going to have to score at least 1 goal to even get a draw. And to do that, we're going to have to show a lot more intent, aren't we, going forward than what we have done? Certainly the last 2 or 3 league games in particular. It's been... I just can't get my head around it. Honestly, I can't. If we were defending well and keeping loads of clean sheets, you'd probably think, okay, fair enough, but we're not. We're still letting goals in.
It's mad, isn't it? When we playing Leicester the other day, like our most creative outlet was David Luiz.
Yeah, I know.
And when he went off, it's like, there goes the game.
But I mean, we've just paid £45 million, whatever it was, for Thomas Partey, right, in midfield. He never got a kick on Sunday. No one passed to him. Nobody said that. He didn't get a kick, did he? And it's like the game bypassed him. Surely at some point during that game, Arteta's supposed to be this fantastic tactician, right? Surely you'd have looked at it and thought, we've got to get Thomas Partey in this game. We've got to. David Luiz was pinging in balls. Thomas Partey must have been thinking, looking like he was at Heathrow Airport. You know what I mean? What's happening over his head? Because he never got past the ball, did he?
He didn't.
He's the player in midfield that we've been relying on to come in. We've been crying out for him, haven't we? Everyone was saying, please buy Thomas Partey. We need him desperately. Yes, we've got him now. Brilliant, And then we produce a performance like that around him, and it's like, you've got to go through him. Give him the ball. Let him drive us forward. He's the one that's going to do that. And why did we not do that against Leicester? I just didn't understand it. Our 3 midfielders were in a straight line. There was massive gaps between all 3 of them. We had 5 men in midfield. Thomas Partey must have just been thinking, "What am I doing here?" Honestly,
the problem is, Rich, and it comes back to the same thing as it always does. It's recruitment, mate. It's like the thing is, it's all well and good bringing in Thomas Partey, but you've got to have the right tools around him for him to be effective. And I think maybe even I know people. There's a lot of Arsenal fans that are going to ride out for Nicolas Pepe. There's a lot of quite pessimistic towards him, but partly the reason I think that even partly I think
on the positive podcast.
Yeah, true.
He just frustrates me. He is frustrating.
So I think what would have helped Nicolas Pepe a bit is if obviously if we'd have got not even if we got Hossim Awa, if they've just got someone, is it Dominic Zablowski, is it from whatever team he plays for?
Yeah.
Just get somebody to be that link, like Russ said, to link the attack in the midfield. But we don't have that. We don't have no one that goes beyond the front three in terms of runs in the midfield.
You say we don't. We actually do. He's just sitting at home twiddling his thumbs.
What Ozil?
And apparently, Arteta was saying today again that he's reiterated the fact that it's footballing reasons, and he's decided to leave him out.
But I don't necessarily think he go. I think with this like Mesut Ozil sort of playing style, I don't necessarily think he's creative, but I don't necessarily think he's someone like a Ramsey or a Joe Willett that will go beyond the front three. And we don't even have that.
No, probably not. No, I agree with that. He probably isn't. But he's a sort of, when we've got those sort of two banks of four to try and break down, or even a bank of five and a bank of four, quite often at Emirates in particular, no one in our midfield has got the capabilities of breaking through that with a pass or with a run or anything. Ozil's the one player in our squad who could potentially do that. Sometimes, I'm not saying he should play every game. It's ridiculous to think that. But in certain games, he could certainly come on, and he's capable of doing something like that, give us that little bit of creativity, that little spark in the forward area of the pitch that we've lacked desperately. And if Arteta actually had the front to come out and say that, I can't pick him for other reasons, political reasons, then that's
footballing reasons, isn't it?
For him to say footballing reasons, when all of us have got eyes, we can see what we're lacking, and we can see the sort of player that Ozil is. You can't tell me he wouldn't have improved it in some games. And to leave him out of the squad completely, to not even have that option in any game is mental. And if Arteta's done that for football reasons, he knows nothing about football, quite honestly.
you know, Rich, off the back of that, you know what it is as well? I think, I don't know what you guys think. A lot of these press guys, man, the journos, right? They ask such shit questions, man. They're lucky. They're lucky I wasn't a journalist, you know, because I'll be going there asking Arteta, well, if you know we haven't got creative spark in the team, we've got obviously Danny Ceballos on another year's loan. Why is he playing so deep? I would ask the questions. I'm entitled to ask you that. Like, don't just Arteta's not the Messiah. Like, we can question him.
No, of course we can.
Because we got Ceballos for another year. Because even when we saw the team line up against Leicester, I think a lot of Arsenal fans were happy. But
yeah,
I was thinking, all right, yeah, Ceballos is going to play a bit more, and he wasn't.
No.
I thought, my God, what are you telling these guys, man? Because even in the first half, from what I saw, I'm sure we'll come on to pay-per-view a bit later, but from what a lot of people were saying, like Arsenal were good for like the first 20 minutes. You guys probably saw the game. I didn't see it fully. So some people said that Arsenal were okay. Some people say that Arsenal controlled it for the first 45. So what was it like for you guys?
Well, no, I thought the first half was pretty good. We did, Leicester didn't start with any strikers on the pitch. They had Harvey Barnes as their kind of outlet. He's normally a wide player, isn't he? He was playing through the middle, but they just sat there, they put everyone in midfield, shut the spaces down, and we had all the ball, mainly going sideways, apart from David Luiz's long 40-yard balls into the corner. We put a couple of good crosses into the box, but we haven't got the players in the box to finish them off. And it was okay. The first half, half time, I thought to myself, actually, if we carry on playing like this in the second half, we will probably get a goal. We will probably win, because Leicester's ambition was to come for a draw by the look of it. But they knew that while it was 0-0, they could bring Vardy on.
Yeah, 100%.
He was likely to get a goal because he tends to have a good record against us. And the other thing as well is, Vardy came on and he was basically told, do what you're good at, running behind, cause them problems. We've got Aubameyang, who's as good a finisher as Vardy. His goal scoring record over the last couple of years has proves that. Yeah. And yet he's got to chase back and play left back sometimes.
It doesn't make sense, mate. It doesn't make sense.
It's pointless. You get other players to do that. And Vardy does it. Yeah, Vardy will work for the team. Of course he does. I'm not saying he doesn't, but he's in the right positions where he needs to be. Yep. He plays to his strengths, and the team play to his strengths. We should be playing to Aubameyang's strengths. We shouldn't be saying to Aubameyang, come back and help the left back out for 45 minutes of a game. Because if you do that, yes, fantastic, great work for the team, brilliant. But you're not going to score the goals, and we're not going to win the game. And that's what's been happening. And you've got to play players to their strengths. That's what Leicester did. Leicester set out their team for their strengths. And, let's face it, Leicester hadn't won at Arsenal for 47 years, right?
Long time.
Yeah, they hadn't. And they went away a couple of weeks before, scored 5 against Man City away from home. Yeah. When do we go and play like that, away from home against a good team? Never.
We don't.
No, that's now. I don't just mean now under Arteta. Before under Emery, under
Wenger. I know.
Yeah. Maybe the Invincible team probably did, but that's because we were the best team at the time, so we could do that. But Leicester aren't the best team in the Premier League. They're a top 6 team, aren't they?
Yeah.
They could change in the top 4, but they went away to Man City, went there and done a job on them, scored 5 goals. They came to Arsenal in a different way, did a job on us and won 1-0. Why haven't we got that about us? You can guarantee that we'll go to Man United and we won't do what Tottenham did to them. We won't go anywhere near to doing what Tottenham did to them. We won't even do what Crystal Palace did to them on the first game of the season when they beat them 3-1. They went there with a plan to win.
Yeah.
I can't see us doing that because we've not done that at any game. That's what frustrates me because we've got better players than Crystal Palace. We've probably got better players than Leicester, actually.
Yeah.
If you take Vardy out, and he didn't even play most of that game.
You make a good point, Rich, because the thing is, and I think it comes back to the same thing again. We see it with England national team playing players in the right position, which both managers don't do, man. Like, it sounds simple enough to say, but if you look at the games, it doesn't. You're shoehorning players into. I mean, like I said, when we in terms of us being predictable, like I understand if you want to utilize both fullbacks, but it's predictable when it's coming down one side of the pitch.
Yeah,
Kieran Tierney is a left back. Yes, he can play the left of a free, but he's wasted there. But the thing is, more than likely, he probably will play there again.
I think he
Sunday.
will. Yeah.
I think he will, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it's not so much players playing out of position as well. It's like, I mean, when was it when Willian played as a false 9? Was that Man City? I mean,
Man City, yeah.
Who even thought that was a good idea? Do you know what I mean?
I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
I mean, that is ridiculous. I mean, I love Arteta. Don't get me wrong, right? And I'm desperate for him to succeed. And he's made a lot of improvements in certain aspects, but he's also made some absolutely ridiculous decisions this season in particular. And that one playing Willian in that game at Man City was the most mental thing I think I've ever seen an Arsenal coach do, because it didn't work. We're not surprised it didn't work because. How was it ever going to work, realistically, against a team like Man City? We look at the way all we had to do was all you had to do was look at the way Leicester played against Man City in their previous home game, and work out a way that we can try to replicate that in a similar kind of way. They scored 5 goals, 3 of them were penalties, but they got in the penalty area to get. We're not going to get penalties because we're not in the penalty area enough, are we?
That's true.
We just aren't in there enough. That's the problem.
Hey, Jonathan's
put a point in here. When the side plays defensively, it's down to fine margins, taking chances. The goal disallowed, different game, possibly. Yeah, no, I agree. The Lacazette goal that got disallowed would have made it a different game. What the final outcome would have been,
of course.
Leicester would have come out a bit earlier. They might have brought Vardy on a bit earlier. They certainly wouldn't have kept that sort of 6-man midfield, basically what they had. They wouldn't have kept that for as long as they did when they 1-0 down after 3 minutes. They would have had to have come out at some point later on. But I don't know. Yeah, it is fine margins, but unfortunately, we're not taking enough risks to make those fine margins go in our favour. And I think in a top level sport, you've got to take risks every so often. Otherwise, you're not going to be successful. You've got to, and we're just not taking risks. Unfortunately,
Arteta's very risk averse, isn't he? He has a set plan, and he doesn't let the players do what they want to do. He's very rigid in the way that he implements his tactics. I
mean, Jonathan there said about we don't know how our party's going to integrate yet. 10 games he thinks we'll get a clear picture. No, that's true. Of course we don't, and hopefully we'll see over the next few games exactly how that is going to evolve the midfield. But on the evidence of Leicester, that kind of worried me a little bit, just the way he was completely bypassed. And that, you could say that was the players' fault on the pitch. Maybe it was, but it seemed as though it was the system that they were asked to play. Because
you've got to get the right tools around him, man.
Yeah,
about 10 games in, but you've got to get the right players around him.
What Thomas Partey needed in that Leicester game, he needed the other midfielders to be closer to him, so that he could actually do something. He could get the ball, he could get on the ball, and he could play some football, and he just didn't get the opportunity to do that. But, I don't know. It's worrying me actually at the moment. It is, and I can't see much changing in the next few games because we've got games against informed, difficult opponents. And like you said, Ruff, before, Arteta isn't going to take the necessary risk to win these games. You have to take a risk to win. You do. Leicester took a risk to beat us. They brought Vardy on, pushed a few more people forward. They got the win on the back of it. They were rewarded for their bravery. They did the same against Man City. They were rewarded for their bravery in that game. Crystal Palace were brave at Man United away their first game. They were rewarded for that. And if we took those risks, we've got the players, and we would probably find we would get rewarded at some points through the season. We would, and unfortunately at the moment we're not, because we're not taking those risks. And even when we've won games, we haven't won games because we've taken a risk. We've won games because we've maybe got a little bit fortunate. Sheffield United, yes, maybe it was a little bit of a risk. We brought Pepe on, changed the system slightly, and it paid off. Pepe scored, didn't he? But I don't know.
Guys, I was going to say to you guys, you know the games against Villa and Leeds.
Yeah.
Which ones are home and away?
Villa's at home. Leeds.
I don't know which ones are home and away. Ooh.
Yeah, Villa's home. Yeah.
Yeah, Leeds.
You see, Leeds aren't a team that I can see that will be. They won't play a rigid formation. That they'll be expressing themselves under Bielsa. Yeah. That's the sort of team I think that we could actually do quite well against.
What, exploit the fact that they're going to be? Yeah, possibly. But then, having said that, I mean, they were unlucky to lose against Liverpool. They took the game to them. They should have beat Man City. They're not going to be scared of playing us. You can guarantee that. And
no, they're not going to be scared. But I was just to say, we could plan a counter attack a lot more with a lot more predatory thing. I think Leeds are the sort of side that we could exploit. Yeah,
possibly. Yeah, because Leeds aren't going to come to contain us, are they? Leeds are going
they're not.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I mean, Jonathan again put something about about taking more risk. Yeah,
we do, because I think Leeds done the same thing. That City were quite dominant in the first, if I remember quite rightly, but the second half, Leeds were fantastic.
Any team with Bellerin, Xhaka, and Lacquer in isn't going to do too much. They did win the FA Cup, to be fair. But in fact, they've won the FA Cup twice with those three in the team.
I'll have a night off from talking about Bellerin, man.
But I mean, I don't know. I think things need to change in terms of we've got to take more risks. We've got to go for teams more. Man United on Sunday, for me, that they haven't won at home for 5 games in the league now, going back last season as well. I know they had a good win in the week in the Champions League, a good result that was, but they haven't won in the Premier League for 5 games. And this is a time, if we're ever going to, we haven't won there since 2006. 13 games in the Premier League in a row.
You can bet your bottom dollar that they're going to beat us, then, can't you?
If there's one time to go there and win, with Man United not winning at home, and they got hammered 6-1 off Tottenham a few weeks ago. Do you know what I mean? Surely this is our time, isn't it? But to do it, we're going to have to go there. We're going to have to take risks.
Rich, I love your optimism. I love you, but Rich, I got to say, man,
it's not happening, is it?
But it's the thing. It's just like Spurs. Son scored as many goals as we have all season. You know, there's something wrong. I mean, something very wrong.
What about that stat with was it Harry Kane and Son? I think second, most combinations in the Premier League history.
Yeah.
Oh wow! But no, Rich, what I was saying before. No, we know with Arsenal, we tend to be everybody's first, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Declan Rice got his first West Ham goal against Arsenal.
With their cherry, yeah.
First Premier League team in history to lose a 4-goal lead. Was it Christian Benteke at the time? Was it season before last? Hadn't scored in about 2 years. Scored against us. But Rich, I hear what you're saying. You know why? Because when we played Man United away in the last 2 years, and even United fans, if they're honest, were like, you know what? I reckon this might be the year that Arsenal might give us a beating, and we still couldn't beat them.
Nah.
Yeah, last year we were meant to beat them, weren't we?
We played in that whatever kit it was, the green turquoise kit. We were 2 at Old Trafford, right? Yeah. We scored a goal. Yeah. The Arsenal fans literally celebrating.
I know, yeah. We were still celebrating when they scored.
Yeah.
No, but I think the roles are reversed this time, Rich. And I think United going into this game, I definitely think they've got the upper hand, man. And I think they're the favourites going into it.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Do you think they are?
I think they are, Rich. I do.
Because of the Champions League result? Because in the Premier League, they've not been...
Not because of that. I just think... before, with the last 2 times we played United at Old Trafford, they had a lot of injuries and their form was terrible. They was on the floor, and then it's time for us to take our opportunity. But both them 2 games, I think 1-1 last season when Aubameyang got flagged offside when he was about 4 yards onside, and then and then the season before we had a 2-2 draw at Old Trafford. But I think the Gantis game, I think it's because they've got so much. I know defensively they've got issues, and I think Tellez is missing because he's got coronavirus apparently. So Luke Shaw's going to be playing, and Wan-Bissaka is not. He one-on-one defensively is the best defender in the league in right back, but going forward, they're not going to hurt us from the wide areas. I'll be very shocked if they hurt us from the wide areas. We can hurt them from the wide areas, but it's got to be from both sides, not just one side of the pitch. But I think United going to it as favourites personally.
So there, Mark says there, since Uber signed his contract, Kane has scored 10 and 7 assists. Wow,
hey,
that's unbelievable. If that's true, I don't know if that's true. If that's true, that's an unbelievable stat. That is.
Mark, what up, mate? That's a good stat.
That's a great stat. I'll have to check if it's actually true, but it's pretty good if it is. Ben says more organised defensively. It's the balance. That's exactly the point, isn't it?
We do.
More risks. Yeah, they're there for the taking defensively. Yeah, I don't think it's just the forwards that need to step up. Yes, they do, but it's more that the approach to the game that we take. If we take the game to them, if we go on the front foot and try and put their defence under pressure, we've got the players to punish them. We have, Aubameyang is still a great goal scorer. I know he's having a bit of a hard time at the minute. Lacazette can score goals in the Premier League. He's proven that. Pepe can produce moments of magic, as we've seen. Saka is becoming a really consistent Premier League player as well. So we've definitely got the attacking players.
Willian.
Willian, he's experienced, isn't he? He's won at Man United before with Chelsea. So we've definitely got the forward players to do it, and they've got the ability to do it, and we know that they have. It's just how we set up, I think. That's the thing. I mean, Mark says there he's Googled it, so
because Harry Kane got
that's what it's there for.
Mark, Harry Kane got 4 assists in 1 game, innit? So that's definitely got to be true.
I was going to give him a load of credit then as well, but clearly
they haven't looked hungry enough. Yeah, maybe they haven't, but I think they haven't looked hungry enough because the way we're setting up isn't giving them the best opportunity to be effective. Maybe, and
it's like I said. I think, like I said earlier, like the front three, we don't have a settled front three, man. It's changing every week.
It is changing all the time. Yeah, and
that's not helpful.
No, it isn't. And I think you do need continuity. You need players who are used to playing together that you can link up with. Like you said, down the left-hand side, we have done quite well actually. Kieran Tierney, when he played down there, Saka have both been effective. Obviously, Aubameyang plays from the left-hand side usually. So whereas we do lack that same level on the right-hand side because the players aren't as good as well, probably. That's one of the main issues, I suppose. It's the fact of what it is. But, it's more the way that we're setting up the team, I think that's the problem, as opposed to the individual players. I think, we've got as good a starting 11 as most teams in the Premier League, I think. Yep. 1 to 11, we're not, Liverpool are probably slightly better. Of course, Man City have got more depth. But pretty much everybody else on a 1 to 11 basis, we're not behind them, are we? Particularly, it's just we're not setting up our team in the right way to win these games, which surprises me because I thought Arteta would be able to do that a lot more easily than he has done. I thought he would, and I think last season he showed it in certain big games in the FA Cup in particular. He outsmarted Pep in the FA Cup, didn't he? He somehow managed to beat Liverpool, didn't we? I wouldn't necessarily say he outsmarted Klopp so much. We defended well that game at the Emirates, and then we managed to beat him on penalties in the. We beat him on penalties twice, now, haven't we, this season? Actually, so he can do it in one-off games. But why can't he do it in his? I mean, at the end, every Premier League game's a one-off game, isn't it?
That's the thing, every game's a one-off game.
I don't understand why he can't just do it every 38 times through the season. Do that every single time. I don't know why he can't, because he certainly can do it.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. Is it a fear of losing? I'm not really sure. I don't know. I can't get my head around it, if I'm honest. Exactly why we're not playing better. Not so much getting better results. It's how we're playing that's the concern.
Yeah, that's awful.
It is, man. I mean, I think if what's it? So what now? I think come Sunday, that will be 29 games. It's 29 games at the moment, isn't it? Against the top 6, isn't it? 1 clean sheet, guys, man.
Yeah, 1 clean sheet. Yeah, it's mental.
It is mad.
It is.
I don't get it.
I mean, I'm sort of moving away from Arsenal, sort of just for a second. Obviously, the pay-per-view, we mentioned that before. We're now being picked again, haven't we? Next week, the Aston Villa game. another one. So that'll be 2 out of 3 for us. I think is it someone like Burnley? It'll be three weeks in a row or something for Burnley. Ooh. Is it? I think it's a team like Burnley, someone like that.
Yeah, Leicester's last 2 games have been on pay-per-view as well.
Oh, the Villa one pay-per-view, yeah.
Villa one is next week now. Yeah, it's been moved to pay-per-view. So
I thought it was the rumor. I thought the rumor was it might have been the Leeds one, but maybe I got that wrong.
It might be Leeds as well.
Every game's pay-per-view now. No one wants to watch Arsenal anymore because we're so rubbish. So it's on pay-per-view. So boring.
If anybody paid £15 to watch the Leicester game, they're not going to pay £15 to watch the Villa game, are they? If there was a neutral, a neutral fan. I mean, obviously, you know, Aston Villa fans will pay, I'm assuming. But I mean, this can't go on, can it, the pay-per-view? They've got to stop, haven't they? They've got to realise it's wrong, surely. Do we think?
Yeah, go on, Rush, you're going to go ahead.
Well, Sky and BT don't want it anyway, do they? So I don't. It can't, because basically people are just going to lose interest. They'd rather give the money to charity. So, I mean, I'm not going to pay for it. No chance.
No, I'm not either.
Mark, Ben's got
Ben's got a good point there. Yeah, get the best out of our strengths now. Yeah, that's what we need to do. We need to do it quickly as well, though, because
that's the thing. He's right. We have firepower. Like, it's not that we don't have it. We have it.
And I think
they've got no bullets. They've got no bullets in the gun.
For us all there with that comment, actually.
Oh, sorry, the bottom. Yeah. You know, I made it very, very clear. I was not paying a cent to watch that game. No, that wasn't even. It's not even one of them ones, Richard Russ, where I'm thinking, oh, you know what? Am I tempted to go and pay it or whatever? I see even a couple of guys tweeting it on Twitter. I said, no, don't pay, man. Don't be stupid. Like Newcastle fans, fair play to them. Like, I think there's a 20k they raised from like to go to food bank charity. I think the Leeds and the Man City guys are on board as well.
Yeah,
$14.95 it is too much. And what I found, he was right to say it. The person who said this, but it coming from him was like, "Are you taking the piss, Mike Ashley?"
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
said it was too much. I'm thinking that's not rocket science, is it?
No.
But yeah, $14.95, man. Like, sometimes I don't even pay that for the boxing, and they fight every 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
But to expect people to pay, like, and the thing is with the Sky thing, Richard Russ, right? It's not that you're not just paying for the Sky Sports. That comes with the entire package, the broadband if you got it. That comes with Sky Talk if you've got it.
Yeah. And
that doesn't even include BT Sport. And then on top of that, going to the games. Obviously, we can't go to them at the moment. But yeah, I mean, at one point, I remember when I had Sky, I've still got Sky. I had BT Sport at the time, many, many years ago. But luckily, I got it for quite a decent amount because I think it's about £5. Because at the time, I had BT broadband, so it's all right. But once I got rid of that, it shoots up by about another more than double.
Yeah.
And they want to pay on top of that. So no, I wasn't going to pay for it.
Jonathan says he thinks it might drop to £5 for Christmas.
I haven't heard that.
Possibly.
I think they'll scrap it.
I don't think £5 is too bad when you think about it. That probably they could maybe get away with that if that was going to be the case. I mean, you shouldn't have to pay extra for something you've already paid for. If you subscribe to Sky or BT, you shouldn't have to pay extra at all. It should be like last season. Well, fans aren't in the ground. All the games should be either included in a package or some of the free to air ones, which they did last year, didn't they? BBC had a cup one. You know, I wouldn't mind if Amazon Prime did a few actually, because I've got Amazon Prime.
See, that's a good point though, because even when they had it, was it last season during the Christmas period? Didn't it? They had the game on Amazon Prime. Yeah. But even if you don't have it, then you got to pay for it. Well, I don't know how long the trial was for. Is it 30 days or whatever the hell it is? I can't remember. But
yeah, probably. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. The pay-per-view thing, I'll be honest with you, even I don't care, even a £5, I will turn around and I will say it. I'm not no Scrooge, but I still ain't going to pay.
No, I'm not going to pay. I'm definitely not going to pay for it. I mean, I don't even subscribe to Sky on it anyway, because I don't agree with the whole kind of system of it all, really. I never have done. You know, I may be old school. I liked it when the football's on BBC One and ITV.
You can just see Richards with his transistor radio. He's just listening.
Exactly.
Yeah, BBC 5 live on.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
But yeah,
I used to quite like it, right, when there used to be one game live a week on a Sunday, right?
Yeah.
and all the other games kicked off at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. So if you was at the game, say if Arsenal playing on a Saturday 3 o'clock, you'd be at the Arsenal game. Brilliant. You'd have your radio to read all the other scores that were going on because there was no internet and stuff then. So that was good. And then, or you get in your car radio on the way home and get all the results coming in. And then on a Sunday, you could sit at home and watch Tottenham play Man United or something on a Sunday. Sunday lunchtime on ITV or BBC, whatever it was.
The big match,
And it wasn't, and even on Match of the Day, when they used to have Match of the Day on, they used to have highlights of about 3 games. That was it. It didn't have every single game on. They picked 3 games, the big 3 games of the day, and it was brilliant. So if your game was on Match of the Day, you knew you was going to be on Match of the Day. It was exciting because it was like, we're on Match of the Day tonight. Whereas now it's like every single game's on telly. It's just crap. I just don't like it, honestly. I'd rather go back. Sometimes they say less is more, and I think with football and that, less will be more. Have 1 live game week or maybe 2. Have one on a Saturday evening, like the 5:30 on a Saturday, and maybe the Sunday 4 o'clock game. That's it. And have the rest of them play 3 o'clock on a Saturday. Go back to how it used to be, and I'm sure it'd be better, for everybody, apart from possibly the money men that like the TV money, I suppose. But then it would even it out.
Never going to do that.
It would even it out. I mean, I just think that would be better, but that's just me probably. Well, Ben's got BT and Sky, and he's not paying for extra.
Same as me. I'm not paying.
But Ben, to make your point, cancel BT and Sky. If everybody who subscribes cancels, then they're going to go bust, and it's happy days. So cancel. And watch it on the legal stream.
Then all the football clubs go bust as well.
I'll be shocked if that pay-per-view is not scrapped before. I'll be shocked if it's not scrapped before.
I'm surprised it's still going now. I thought after the first week they'd realise the backlash and think actually this is a bad idea and scrap it.
They've had talks over there, and I saw on the Monday Night Football with when Carragher and Gary Neville was talking about it. I'll be surprised. They need to scrap it. They do need to scrap it.
I mean, if this is true what Jonathan says, it probably is £100,000 to cover a game. That just goes to back up my point. Only have 2 games on a week then they don't need all that coverage because it's cheaper for them. So
you've got to pay the Roy Keanes and everybody else of this world their money, haven't you?
I mean, the money Sky and BT must be making. This must be
Ben, there's other ways to watch games without paying Sky and BT, mate. There's other ways. Not that we would endorse the other ways. But there are other ways.
Yeah,
listen to your radio.
Get that in there, mate.
Yeah, listen to your radio. Yeah. But don't watch illegal streams because that's not good.
No.
Definitely don't do that because that's really bad. But there are other ways to see the games if you don't want to pay BT and Sky. But just don't do that because it's not good. But no, I mean, paper. I'm surprised it's still a thing. I'm surprised they didn't scrap it straight away. And now they're saying our game next week's on, so it's going to be still in next week. Well, look at it.
They'll be kidding.
They're not even scrapping it yet. So I mean, crazy. Absolutely.
I think it'll be very, very imminent. Very imminent.
It's got to be. Surely they can't. They can't carry it. I thought maybe the end of October that'll be it. They'll scrap it, but obviously not because it's into November now, and it's I don't know.
They might scrap it on Halloween.
It's tonight. Yeah.
That's tomorrow. Halloween's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Sorry. Yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah. What I want to talk about as well, actually, this Huss Farmy, who's just been released, or he's going to be leaving Arsenal, isn't he? The contract negotiator. Wow. Okay. What are we making of that? Obviously, a lot of changes gone on, haven't there, behind the scenes in terms of the scouting. The head of football, obviously, Raul Sanelli's gone as well. And now, obviously, Huss is going. I think he's going probably November, isn't he? He's staying for another month. What do we make of that, Russ? What do you think's going on behind the scenes? Is this good moves that we're making, or are you a bit worried?
It's just everyone who was associated with Gazidis has now gone, basically, isn't it? So I think it's just a fresh, clean slate, really. Apparently, Huss Fahmy was good he devised really good models for contract renewals. I don't know how, because Aubameyang's contract renewals seem to take forever and a day. So
well, they always do, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. But apparently he was very good at put the model in place for how all Arsenal contracts are going to be done. So apparently Arsenal can now copy that and they can just get rid of him and get someone else in cheaper. So it's a cost-cutting measure. I mean, I don't know. Apart from that, he's just a member of staff, really, who did the contracts.
Yeah.
How it will affect us, I don't know.
I mean, I suppose it's more to do with this is another of the changes going on behind the scenes, isn't it? The latest one. There's been quite a lot, hasn't there, over the last few months? And yes, some of it's to do with the cost cutting that the club need to have done. And some of it seems to be the direction that we're going in. I mean, what are you making of that, Albert? All the sort of behind the scenes kind of changes in terms of, the sort of executive kind of positions, if you like, the negotiators for contracts, and obviously head of football and all that kind of stuff changing. What are you making of all that?
Well, the Who's Farmer thing, I wasn't actually aware of that, but I mean, to be honest, I'm not really surprised with the way Arsenal have gone about sort of moving certain people on. To be honest with you, well, the Who's Farmer was he originally from Team Sky, wasn't he?
Yeah, Team Sky, and Gazidis brought him in with like Mislintat and all those guys.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that, like I said, I think I said it before, but yeah, less cooks in the kitchen, man. Because even when we had Mislintat there, him and Snelly completely had different ideas in terms of recruitment for players coming into a club.
Yeah,
that's pretty obvious. That's hence the reason why Mislintat was off. Like you just said, yeah. So that wasn't a surprise. But you've seen obviously with Mikel Arteta's job title being changed, whether that actually means anything, time's going to tell. But gives me more power to add. I saw the comment. Sorry.
I think he's is a position where he had been marginalised. Husfami had, so I think he's basically just sort of sod it and go.
So there's ever change. Yeah, as long as these guys, whoever comes in, whoever does come in, it's difficult to say, isn't it? Because obviously you want them to have the best interest of the club, but as we've seen with Arsenal for many, many years, I'm not too sure if that's actually happened a lot of the time, back boardroom level. And there's been too many guys there at Arsenal that have been there for so many years, man.
Yeah.
Even back to what's his name, Sir Chips, Ken Fryer.
Ken Fryer, yeah.
Well, Ken Fryer's still there, isn't he? I don't know. I don't think
he's still there, isn't he?
Now, but he's still at the club, I think, isn't he?
I think he's going to be leaving at some point. I mean, he's 80 odd, isn't he?
Guys have been here too long. Yeah,
he'll never leave though, will he? He'll have his little office and he'll just end up sleeping in there. I reckon that'll be it.
Yeah.
But it's all of those guys that seem to be involved in the Pepe deal is right. I think a lot of those guys when Tim Lewis came in, he's just had a look at the books and he thought, bloody hell, what's gone on here?
Yeah, this is not good enough.
Yeah. So Raul went straight away. Yeah, gone, and now Huss has gone. But to be fair, I mean, he's a contracts man, but it just takes ages. Any Arsenal contract, any transfer, just takes ages.
It does.
And it's obviously that was the case before he even came, because he's only been there 3 years. So that was going on long before he came along. So he didn't change much, did he? Because
he went to the Arsene Wenger and Dick Law school of doing contracts.
Yeah, good old Dick Law.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously there's been a lot of changes behind the scenes.
Yeah, of course.
Some of it is to do with obviously the cost cutting measures and stuff like that, streamlining the whole thing. And I agree with what Mark said about giving more power to Edu. I do feel as though that was perhaps always the plan, actually, to do that. And now it seems like Edu's going to be pretty much doing everything, and what he can't do, Arteta's going to do. And that seems to be the plan, going forward, which might be better, just having two people doing everything rather than 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. I mean, you look at a match day. I can remember like going to games and you see them, and you've got in the bench and in the whole staff. There's probably 25 people. You've got a masseur. You've got the physio, or about 3 physios. You've got a kit man. You've got someone who cleans the boots. You've got someone who brushes the player's hair. You've got all these different people on the staff, and it's like, why are they all needed? You know what I mean? They're not needed, are they?
There is too many. With the Arsenal hierarchy, it was obvious that there was just too many cooks in the kitchen, man.
And I think some clubs have probably got more people doing different stuff than what we have. I mean, did you watch the Tottenham documentary on that was on Amazon Prime?
I've seen snippets of it. I've not watched it fully.
I mean, there was parts in that, right, where, say, for example, I don't know, a player is maybe having a little bit of treatment on, say, a knee injury, just a little slight knee injury in training, right? And there's about 5 people in there, and the other 4 are not doing anything. They're just standing there looking. It's like, what are you even doing? What is the point of you being there? And all clubs have got all these staff that literally they don't seem to need them. And what we're doing maybe is we're saying, right, we probably realise that. And maybe it was that team that's done that. We don't need half these people. We don't need them. And all it's doing is draining resources of the club. And there you go. And it might be the best thing that we can do. And maybe we now need to start looking at a few more. There's a few players I think that maybe should follow suit, and they should be chucked out and all.
I think the problem is with Husfami. I think that his role's going to be is going to be made into a junior role, so they will have someone doing that role. But obviously, not on as much money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like it's fun, isn't it? Because almost like when Wenger was here, it was sort of he had too much. It's almost. I'm not saying
he did everything, and then we got all these other people in, and now they're going back into.
I'm not. Yeah, it's almost like the same model as it was kind of before with Wenger and his mate Gazidis. Well, I don't know if they was mates, but professional friends.
I mean, Jonathan's got a point there, isn't he? I mean, Wenger sometimes wouldn't pay the agents' fees and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he didn't want nothing to do with them.
We lost out on so many players, probably.
Yeah, whereas now it's like we'll just do anything, or we have done anything to get some of these players that we shouldn't have bothered getting, really. And, it's gone the other way, hasn't it? And maybe now we're trying to go back a little bit more to what it was like before, perhaps.
Yeah.
Well, it's just getting the balance right. I think somewhere along the line we've I don't know, we've not got it right, have we? Behind the scenes, we've not got it right, and that's subsequently put onto the pitch. We haven't got it right, and the two things are connected. And we've now made all these changes behind the scenes, which is going to take a time to settle down and see how that works out. We are making some changes on the playing side as well. We've had a reasonably good transfer window, or so we thought we had, and it is still getting things right, isn't it? It's getting the balance right. Somewhere along the line, we need to find, to take us from being a decent-ish team to and a big club, but to go onto that level and actually be competing again with the likes of Liverpool. We're not far away from doing that. I don't think we are. It's just a few things here and there that need to be put together a little bit better. It's almost like the parts aren't quite fitting together properly. It's like trying to do the old Rubik's Cube, and you just can't quite get all the colours to line up. We're almost
that's a very big Rubik's Cube when it comes to Arsenal.
Well, it is, yeah. But I always find them quite difficult. I did, but I've got it. Yeah, the size of Gabriel Pass, of course, yeah, they're good signings at reasonable prices. What we've got, yeah, I'd agree with that. They are, and let's hope that we can build around that as we move forward. Ben saying small steps. We need to be a bit patient. We do need to be patient, but some people have got more patience than others. I want to see Arsenal win the Premier League again.
Yeah, tell Ben to go.
I've not got as long left as Ben. So
tell Ben to go on Twitter, man. They find out about patience.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think my patience has been running out because it's gone on so long now with us not being able to get to that next level, and it gets more and more frustrating. And it's like I don't know. I probably have become a bit more impatient than I used to be, but I suppose that's just getting older, and that's what happens.
If you look at it a different way, I mean, right, Ceballos is only on loan, so whether we take up. If we have an option to buy him at the end of the season, I don't know. But you've got Mustafi, you've got Ozil, you've got Socrates, you've got David Luiz. All their contracts are finished at the end of the season. So that's going to be a lot of money we can put back into the wage bill. So, next summer, I think, is a really, really big summer for us.
Big.
Yeah, I think it will be. But it's not necessarily having that extra money, it's using it in the right way.
Oh, yeah, exactly,
where we fell down before. Now, we've got a different structure behind the scenes now, and we will have even more so probably by then. And let's hope that we do that right, and that, we might have a bit more money to spend, and let's spend it right, not only in the right positions that we need, but in the right sort of character of player as well, which I think Arteta said that's important as well. Jonathan's kind of backed up. Then 5 or 6 players can go. And if we can replace them with better quality on maybe not so stupid contracts, then that's going to be a big positive.
So there you go. That's probably why Khasfami was got rid of stupid contracts.
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why I'm doing it now, because they know that next summer is going to be a big time for the club.
How do you feel about us offering Mustafi a new contract?
Well, I mean,
go on.
I think a lot of that is to give him a bit more sell-on value, maybe. Because if his contract runs out, we're not going to get a penny for him, are we? Whereas even if he signs a 1 year or 1 year extension or whatever it is, we may be able to then sell him in the summer and at least get some money for him. Because we paid 30 odd million for him, didn't we?
35 million, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if that's the reason. I can't be keeping him for football reasons, surely.
I thought the timing was very odd.
Yeah,
that to come out the day after that, I find that very strange. Very, very strange.
Yeah. £30 million Saliba, to play in Europe. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Apparently, House Family did that whole transfer deal himself, Saliba. So that might be something else to do with it as well.
Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, there has been some crazy stuff going on actually behind the scenes at Arsenal. It probably does at every club as well, but we're obviously more aware of what's going on at our club. You know, but ultimately now with these changes going on, hopefully the future can be a little bit better. And like you said, next summer, as Mark said there, it's make or break for Arteta. It probably is, because if he doesn't get it right summer, if he makes it to next summer, I'm sure he'll make it to next summer, won't he?
bloody
I don't know, man. Some fans are very fickle.
Well, yeah, no.
I saw some of the tweets.
I just think though we've got to be able. I mean, on my show the other night we were talking about it, we've got to be able to criticise Arteta if he gets things wrong. You know, it doesn't mean we want him to be sacked or we want him to go or we don't believe in what he's trying to do. When he makes mistakes, when he gets things wrong, we've got a right as a fan base to mention that and point that out and say, look, he's got this wrong, or we believe he's got it wrong, and these are the reasons why. Because you know, where we're playing, for example, at the moment. So, and there's nothing wrong with doing it. It doesn't mean that you're anti-Arteta or you want, you know, we seem to have built up these kind of divisions in our fan base. You've got like Wenger in, Wenger out, and all this kind of stuff. It's almost like we have to carry this on now. So if you criticise anybody, well, you're Arteta out. Well, no, I'm not Arteta out. I just think he's made some poor decisions in the last couple of games. You know, in the same way Wenger made poor decisions as well.
Oh, he did.
I didn't want Wenger out particularly, but I knew he made mistakes. He got things wrong, and you can say he gets things wrong. Everybody gets things wrong. You know, the players do, the managers do, and you know, it doesn't mean we don't support them. But you know, it's almost now with Arsenal fan base, it's almost like you've either got to, you know, back someone 100% and never ever criticise them, or you basically want them out all the time. It's one or the other. There don't seem to be any happy medium with it sometimes. You know, you can't just think, well, actually, you can't take it for what it is each time, you know. Well, Jonathan thinks it might be to do with selling him on. Yeah, maybe. I was kind of thinking it, because you wouldn't offer him a new contract because you want to keep him for footballing reasons, would you? When
we've been trying to sell him for 2 years and no one's bought him. So
we've got Saliba. Ozil, Klasnach, Mustafi will be gone in the summer. Yeah, probably. A lot of wages there. Yeah, so I mean, investing properly, that's what it's about. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, and if we do that, we'll have a good chance of improving the team and moving us forward. But
the Saliba one, the Saliba one is going to be interesting to see how that plays out, because
Arteta didn't buy him. It wasn't Arteta's man. He wasn't.
I get that. Obviously, with Pepe, it's the same thing as well, isn't it? But I think with Saliba, like I said, he played in the warm-up game against MK Don.
I thought he played quite well, actually. He looked pretty good.
Right, and he hasn't featured since then. So, but then I don't think he could do any worse than the centre backs we have at Arsenal anyway.
No.
I don't get it personally. I don't get it.
You can't tell me that Saliba isn't better than Rob Holding's been playing, for example, or Mustafi. You can't tell me he's not. I'm not having it. And you know, if Arteta's not playing him, he must believe he's not as good as him. And I can't believe that's true. I can't believe it's true, honestly.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
It's my mate Jamie from Leicester Fan TV. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. We won't talk about it last week.
No, we're not. No.
You beat us, and you deserved it probably. But anyway, we don't want to dwell on that now, because we've
already spoken about it.
Yeah, we've got depressed enough talking about Leicester last week. But yeah, so yeah.
Yes, we know who you're talking about, Jonathan. Yes, we know.
Yes, we do. Yeah, well, he's right again. I mean, you know, he made a lot of good points there, Jonathan, actually. So, but yeah, I mean, it is unfortunately, you know, the situation in football at the moment, I guess, as well, isn't it, in general? And I suppose we've been at the brunt of it. I mean, going back onto Sunday again, obviously, it's the big game. What would be your starting lineup, Russ? Do you think, for that game on Sunday? Not necessarily what Arteta will pick. What would you pick first of all?
Do you know what? Right, Leno in goal, obviously. Tierney, Gabriel, Mustafi, Bellerin. Probably. I don't think we can play a back five, so it's going to be a back four. I would personally want to play Partey as an anchor, El Neni and Ceballos. And I would go with what Albert said earlier. I'd have Pepe, Alba up front, and Xhaka on the left. But I know that Arteta won't do that. But that's what I would do.
Russ, I think Russ is looking at my notes.
If Arteta picks that team, I will be amazed. Jonathan said he only watches sensible shows, which is clearly why you're watching this, Jonathan. So it's good to have you. I haven't seen that actually. The Football Terrace. Has anyone seen that? The Football Terrace.
I've not seen that episode. No, I'm gonna have to go and have a look at it.
Oh, well, he's definitely sold it to me. Jeremy Kyle.
Jonathan, tell us more, mate.
Yeah, Jeremy Kyle. That's brilliant. I don't want to watch it now. Yeah. I mean, what would be your starting lineup, Al? But not necessarily what you think Arteta will do. What would you do if you was Arteta?
Yeah, Rich. I think Russ has been. He must have sneaked into my house, man. He's seen my notes. No, because I've actually did a team for I think Arteta will pick and what I'll go for. Leno in goal, Bellerin right back, Luiz if he's fit, and Gabriel centre back, Tierney left back, El Neni, Partey, Ceballos, Pepe, Aubameyang, Saka. Because I think with the midfield, and I said this on my last Q&A a week and a bit ago. I can't remember what it was. I know I'm going to upset some of the Xhaka fan base out there, but just for mobility reasons, he's just to me, it's a no-brainer to play El Neni. No-brainer with Partey and Ceballos.
That sounds like a good show, doesn't it?
Are you serious? Igal, bloody hell. Now Igal can back himself, to be fair, though. Sonny come back, yeah? Go on, Sonny.
He'd eat Lee Gunner for dinner, wouldn't he?
Oh, that must have been hilarious. I've got to go. We've got to watch that, Rich.
I'll probably watch that after.
I think we need to watch that because that sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
I'm surprised Banner went on, man.
Yeah, it sounds like quite a fun couple of hours, but yeah, I have to maybe watch that.
Yeah. But Rich, that'd be my team. That would be my team.
No, I mean both of those two teams would be a good team, but I will be shocked if Arteta picks them. I'll be shocked. I just can't see him doing that. I think to be honest with you, I actually think he might go with a three at the back if David Luiz is fit.
He will.
I think he'll go David Luiz, Gabriel, and Tierney as the three at the back.
Yeah.
If David Luiz isn't fit, then that creates a problem. I think a big problem.
Big problem, massive.
Because then you've got Mustafi, haven't you? You've got Mustafi, Mustafi and Gabriel and Tierney. I don't know. Would you go with that? I don't know. It's a tricky one.
I think with the lineup,
it's very tricky.
With the lineup, I think you're gonna have every Arsenal fan come about 4 o'clock, 4:15, or maybe 3:30. Sorry, going to be waiting for that and that their Instagram post or a Twitter feed to come through. It's going to be one surprise in there. I can guarantee you. Do you think William?
Definitely Jeremy Kyle by the sound of it. Wow, madness.
I need to speak to a gal soon, man. See, mate, that's
crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. I mean, we have got a little problem in defence if David Luiz isn't fit. That is an issue, and I know it seems funny. A lot of people probably wouldn't have anticipated we'd miss David Luiz. I mean, I've always rated him, but it just seems strange now, doesn't it? He's injured, and suddenly we're all panicking, thinking, "What do we do now in defence without David Luiz?"
Yeah, the problem is with David Luiz, I think his reputation precedes him. It's his errors that everyone remembers. No one ever remembers the good things he does. It's always those massive, big errors, and it's the same with Mustafi.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think Mustafi tends to make them more regularly, perhaps, than David Luiz has one every 15 games, maybe, and it's a big one, like the Man City example. Whereas I think Mustafi's got a mistake in him a lot more regularly, hasn't he? Unfortunately, and I think Mustafi's improved under Arteta. I think his performance has improved a lot. And I think last week was a bit harsh to judge him because he hadn't played for ages. He's never going to be straight into the intensity of the Premier League, is he? Having not played, he came on in a game he probably wasn't expecting to because you couldn't have anticipated David Luiz getting injured, and suddenly he's got to play 40 minutes. And I think that he was caught out a few times in that game, and I'm not going to necessarily write him off for that. But we know we've seen Mustafi plenty of times to know that he's got a mistake in him, and if he's got to play against Man United, let's hope he has a good game. But is he ready yet to to be at the top level when he's not played very much football lately. Maybe would have been an opportunity to have played him last night to get him a few more minutes in his legs, but maybe they didn't want to risk him because of literally all the other injury problems that we've got. What's he saying now? Guy called Kesh, an Arsenal fan, was on it as well.
Kesh talks sense a little bit.
Well, that sounded like a lot of fun, didn't it? When was that on last night? This is last night. Wasn't the game on last night?
Can you post the link in the chat? So I want to see that.
It must have been recent.
He says last night. He says on there about last night. Must have been after the game, was it?
Oh my god!
We'd lost.
I've seen a bit of the football terror stuff. Yeah, so it's I think he'll do a back three.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he'll play Mustafi in a 4 or 3 or 2 or 4. Look at it, just because he is too risky. But I don't know.
He plays a left wing back then.
Saka,
yeah. I don't know. See, he quite fancies Maitland-Niles in these sort of games, though, doesn't he? He played Maitland-Niles left wing back in last season, the FA Cup final and stuff. So and he didn't play particularly well the other night, as we said, but he tends to. This is a sort of game I could see Maitland-Niles being thrown into. In that position. And then maybe put Saka, like you said, further up the pitch.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Aubameyang through the middle. And then Saka, I think he'll go Willian as opposed to Pepe just because of his experience in these type of games.
I think you're right. I think he will. But for me, Saka has to play just simply because he's a great player at the moment. Yeah.
No, I think Saka has to play. I think he's 100%. Been one of our more consistent players, hasn't he? Certainly in the forward positions. I know he's not always played that far up the pitch, but he has done, and I think he's played really well. So I would play Saka, and I think he'll probably go. I don't know. Will he play Aubameyang down the middle in this game? I'm not sure if he will.
No. I think Laka will come in.
Yeah, this isn't the game to where you want to try and be expressive. Really, just trying to get a result's the most important thing.
But
I wouldn't be too happy experimenting in a game like this, really.
But playing Aubameyang through the centre is not really an experiment, is it? We need the top goal scorer in the Premier League over the last 2 years. But
try something. Try something, man.
Yeah, or at least maybe look at having to, later on in the game, like last week, we didn't change it enough, did he? And the Man City game, he didn't change it early enough. He didn't even make the subs early enough. And if it's not working, change it.
More proactive. It's more proactive, man.
Yeah, Arteta does have problems with substitutions and his timings and everything else.
Yeah, Terry's milking it, man. Definitely, man. Definitely, man. Having them people on it, you know what the show is going to be like if you got them guys on, man.
Post the link in the comments. I want to see.
I bet that gets a few views. That show, that'll go viral. That will, but be all over Twitter, no doubt as well. I'm surprised there's not been more stuff on Twitter about it. Actually, that's the first I've heard about it.
That's the first I've heard about it as well. Yeah,
which is unusual because normally stuff like that goes all over Twitter, doesn't it? So I'm surprised,
especially with Arsenal fans.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I mean most of my Twitter's Arsenal fans, so I'm surprised that hasn't been pushed around. But anyway. Hang on, we put some more stuff on here.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, 50 minutes worth.
They kept it. The fact they kept it below an hour is brilliant. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
Well,
no.
And we talk sense.
Well, yeah, maybe that's the problem.
I know.
That is the problem. I've always said that's a problem. When obviously me and Albert are the same. We've got small channels really, and you obviously you want your channel to grow and stuff like that. Of course you do, but the only way to make it grow quickly is to really overly
your frustration. Yeah,
do all kinds of rants and raves and all kinds of stuff like that. And then you'll probably end up getting another 200,000 subscribers within a week.
And they're mostly people from other clubs as well.
Yes,
they are.
Very true.
Yeah,
it's very true.
I mean, I don't know. It's quite difficult, isn't it? Because it's difficult to grow your channel in a normal, sensible way, really. I suppose, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's true.
just have to keep plugging on. Really, I don't want to go down that route. Really,
No.
You know, I don't really want to do that. You know, I quite enjoy what I've been doing. I enjoy obviously your channel, Albert, as well, because it's sensible as well. And Russ needs to get a channel. I think you need to get.
There's too many channels, man. I can't compete with any of you guys. It's like you put Arsenal in bloody YouTube. There's 50,000 channels, man.
There's a lot of channels. A lot.
Now, there is a lot of channels.
You need to support someone niche, don't you? And start your own sort of Chelmsford United.
You know what? You can start one for like Stevenage Borough, but who's going to watch it? Nobody. So you might as well do an Arsenal one and get a few hundred people watching. That's the way I look at it. Anyway.
I wish I had the time.
That's true. It is time.
Yeah, no, it does take up a lot of time. I've got to be honest. If it wasn't for the whole kind of work situation I've been put in this year with one thing and another, I wouldn't have had the time probably to put into it that I have done. So it's kept me busy, kept me occupied, give me something to do, I guess, and stop me from going completely mad. But you know, it's what it is. No, I'm enjoying doing it anyway.
It's been good, man.
And if people like watching them as well, then that's great as well, really. But yeah, I definitely don't want to be having fights on the channel and all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's the way forward, is it? Really?
It's weird because like some of the guys I've spoken to, they're cool like with me, but I know obviously if you put certain people together, you know what's gonna happen. It's gonna kick off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what's going to happen. Yeah. But I'd say maybe that's the idea, isn't it? Because it gets the channel noticed, I suppose.
See, that's what you want to do, Richard. You know, in your weekly, like tonight, you were meant to have another fan from another club. That's what we want. And you need to get a troublemaker in there, don't you, really? And just sort of stir up the pot like that. And then.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Thousands of views.
Maybe that's the way forward. You probably only need to do it once, wouldn't you? You know, I mean, you get a viral video, you'll probably not get
viral,
subscribers out of it, and then you're laughing, aren't you? But I don't want to do that. I'd rather it be normal. But I do want to do like once a week. The team that we're playing, I would like to get a fan of that club on every week if possible. And I'd say there was going to be someone on tonight. Unfortunately, you couldn't make it, but we're playing Aston Villa next week. So if anyone out there in internet land's an Aston Villa fan and is reasonably sensible and can have a sensible conversation about the game, I'd quite like to get someone on from Aston Villa, actually.
It's a shame, mate. I thought you were going to get Mark Goldbridge on from Man United TV or whatever it was. That's who I thought was going to be your person.
I did think of that earlier in the week, and then I watched a couple of his shows and thought, no.
It would have got you a couple of views, though. It
probably would have done, yeah.
20,000 views.
To be fair, but yeah, I did
throw money at you.
Yeah. I did kind of think about that, and then I'll change my mind.
Oh God!
But no, I do want to start interacting with more other clubs. I thought the Leicester one last week was good. I enjoyed that.
I saw that video. Yeah, he was a good guy.
Davey from Leicester Fan TV. I mean, I was on his show as well on Sunday morning. That was good. Great bunch of guys they are. And in a way, it makes you kind of sometimes. It's easy to you know, when you're a football fan, you go to football and you've been going for years like we have. It's easy to get a negative view of certain clubs because of certain experiences that you might have had. I mean, Leicester, for example, is one typical example. Filbert Street was quite a naughty place to go back in the day, you know, and it makes you kind of think a certain view of Leicester fans perhaps on the back of that, you know, and then you get to do stuff like that and you realise that, you know, all football fans are the same essentially, aren't they? You know, they just love their club, they want to see them win, but we all love football, don't we? We're all in it together, really. We're all the same essentially. We just like a different team. That's it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, most people are sensible enough to understand that, aren't they?
It's just a shame that Stoke aren't in the Premier League anymore.
Well, yeah. Sensible Arsenal defeat is fun, yeah. Yeah,
it's true.
No, yeah, he's right, and you know, unfortunately, you know, some people can't control themselves. Maybe, you know, when stuff gets out of hand a little bit. I mean, it's good to have, you know, to disagree about things. Of course, it is, and it's healthy to do that. But it's how you do it, isn't it? And
their disagreeing explodes, man.
Yeah, exactly, and that's not healthy, is it? Really, and that's not good for anyone. But I suppose it's good for the viewing figures. Maybe they're going to get a free viewing figures out of this one.
Exactly.
Later on tonight,
hopefully VAR doesn't have a day off on Sunday afternoon.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, with all of this Manchester United penalties, is getting ridiculous, isn't it? it's an absolute joke. And unfortunately, we're in a situation now on Sunday where we've got this dude coming along with his cards, and no doubt giving a few penalties. I mean, has he ever given us any decent decisions that you can remember off the top of your head? Because I can't think of too many. Every time I think of a bad decision that we've had go against us, 9 times out of 10, I've checked the game and might be. But he must have given us something before, hasn't he? He must have done. Surely he's given us a penalty. He hands out penalties like it's Christmas cards. He must have given us one, surely. Can anyone remember? Can you remember, Albert? Has he ever given us a penalty you can remember?
No, he's not get. Yeah, actually, the one referee that I don't want refereeing Arsenal games is Martin Atkinson, man. I was sick of seeing that guy at the Emirates.
Yeah, he seems to get us quite a lot.
Yeah, he gave. I remember he gave Jamie Vardy that penalty. That year they won the league. Vardy's very good at getting penalties.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call him what certain people might call him.
He did send off. He did send off Danny Simpson that game, though, didn't he?
He did.
Well, if everyone agreed about everything, it would be a boring world. It would. It definitely would be a boring world.
It would, definitely.
Right, most clubs all worry about their own manager playing style. Yeah, no, totally right. I mean, I think all football fans are the same, essentially. I think we all overreact after a game when we've lost. I think we all overreact when we've won, thinking how brilliant we are and how fantastic all the players are. And then the next game they lose and they're all rubbish and crap and should be shot. And I think all football fans are the same. I think it's quite an emotional kind of thing, isn't it? And I think we all get tied up in it sometimes. And I think it's worse when you're actually at the game. I find it worse. I feel if I've been to a game and we've lost and played crap, when I come out, and maybe that's why Arsenal Fan TV over the years has worked, AFTV's worked, because you come out of a game and you're literally raging. I'm raging driving up the car for like 2 hours. I'm raging inside when we've lost. And then you get home and you watch Match of the Day, you have a cup of tea and you calm down and then you're all right again. But that happens, doesn't it? It's an emotional thing, isn't it? Unfortunately, being a football fan, it's an emotional roller coaster, really. And
you know what doesn't help?
Part of the journey, isn't it, I guess.
You know what doesn't help? I tell you, I've always thought this. Some of Arsenal's social media accounts, man. Gee, right? It goes into overkill. Honestly, particularly when we win, I just think, you know what? They play highlight reels from I don't know, from years ago. Or just I'll give you an example, Richard. Right? I'll give you an example, Russ and Richard. Right? When we beat Liverpool in the Community Shield, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles scored that penalty.
Yeah,
they must have replayed that penalty about 7 million times. I thought this was about 2 weeks after the game finished.
Yeah.
Like, it's so casual the way he ran up and took the penalty. And I thought, no, come on, this is getting ridiculous now. Even I thought, no, they overkill it, man.
They do,
yeah they do. Jonathan's there said that apparently we win more games with Dean than we lose. I mean, what we need Mark to Google that, because he's good at Googling some stats. So, Mark, if you're around, you've just put a comment in about that. So if you're still watching, go on Google and find out what our record is with Mike Dean. And if Mike Dean ever give us a penalty, because I can't remember one off the top of my head.
You know the most worrying thing, though, that they obviously must think this guy is a good referee, because he wouldn't be refereeing this game otherwise.
But
you want to bet Martin Atkinson will be on the VAR, though?
Do you remember that game when our 50th game when we lost when Mike Wiley was the referee? Apparently he was the best referee for that game, and he basically was corrupt, wasn't he?
That's what they said. He was trending last week.
Yeah, but that was the anniversary, wasn't it, last week? Yeah. I guarantee a penalty I was sending off Sunday. Yeah, I would say so. It's probably going to be. Oh, Mark Green's just give us a thumbs up, so he's on it. Look, he's on the case on Google.
Oh, Mark.
It'll be interesting, actually. I'll be quite interested to see the results of that, because I can't ever remember Mike Dean giving us anything other than hassle and grief and booking and sending stuff and penalties again.
I remember watching that the other day, the Mike Riley performance.
I've watched it a few times. Every time I watch it, I get more angry.
You should do a video on that. Richard watching them.
I think, to me, the worst tackle I thought personally. I mean, Rio Ferdinand should have got sent off as well, to be honest. But
of course he did, yeah. That was
a tackle on Ashley Cole. That was
yeah. That was right in front of Liesman as well. Right in front of Liesman, they did nothing. Ashley Cole, his first foul.
All of them should have been off.
Yeah, the Nevilles did about 20 fouls before they got booked. Ashley Cole did one foul, got booked for the first foul he did. It's like, come on, really? I mean, Ferdinand as well. How he got away with that? I tweeted that to him the other day, actually.
Yeah.
I'm on about it, and Rio Ferdinand got involved. So I just tweeted him and said, "You were lucky not to be sent off, mate. Don't start giving it." You know what I mean?
Yeah. and another most ironic thing, that wasn't even the first time. When we won the league at Old Trafford, the Wiltord goal, man. Oh, yeah. United was kicking us all over the pitch.
Yeah. They were, yeah.
To find out the referee.
Well, Alex Ferguson at that time with the invincible team that we had, he actually, I think one of Neville's might have said, apparently he knew he couldn't out football that team because we were better than them. So he said basically, don't we're not going to play like we normally do. We're going to go out and we're going to stop them playing, and that's what he did for about 2 or 3 seasons against us.
Some of the tackles were
it worked. It worked, didn't it? Because they still tended to beat us even then, didn't they? At Old Trafford in particular. I know obviously we did win the league there, which was great, and a couple of other times, but I say it was the 50th game was always going to lose. We was always going to lose that game at Old Trafford, weren't we? Before it even started, we knew we were going to probably lose.
And the only thing I don't understand, right, the refereeing in this country. So you had a situation 2 years ago where no English referee was or officials were at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Mike Riley should have said to himself, right, because he's still in charge of the PGM.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
still in charge since 2009. He should have said to himself, got his referees together, whatever conference call, meeting, whatever it is, and say, you know what, we cannot have a situation like this again. Where we've been embarrassed that we don't have no officials being picked to go to a World Cup, which is only every 4 years.
Yeah,
and including VAR have obviously not been implemented very, very well by referees, and it's there to help them, and it's still worse.
Yeah, I know,
and that's with VAR.
You think that the last World Cup, right? Like you said, we had no referees. There was referees from like San Marino and Liechtenstein and places like that. They got in ahead of our referees. That's how terrible our referees are. Do you know what I mean?
Should have been a massive wake-up call, and the fact that he's still in charge is a disgrace.
Yeah, but they look after their own, though. That's the thing.
Like you said, he's been there since 2009.
Is it that long? Is it?
Yes, since the days of he took over from Keith Hackett, and that's going back a long time ago.
Oh, they did used to bully the referee, Man United.
United were terrible. They was.
Yeah.
The lights are clean, mate. Oh my God.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. I mean, I suppose now the rules have slightly changed, and you wouldn't get away with doing that now. I suppose. No. They were the worst for it, weren't they? I mean, I suppose we used to a bit as well. To be fair.
No, there's some footage of United. I can't remember this playing. It's going to annoy me. That there was at home though. The way the United players got around the referee, Roy Keane was lost it. Yeah, you'll find it. So that footage is out there. I will find it. I'll message it to you guys. You'll be like, bloody hell, man. You definitely couldn't get away with that now.
No. They've changed a lot of it now, haven't they? That they don't. No one does it anymore, really, do they? But which is probably for the better, really. But I mean, I think we used to do it as well. We weren't no angels back then. We wasn't, was we? You know what I mean? And I think sometimes that was part of being successful. You had to be like that, didn't you? Nice guys finish last, as they say, and and that's maybe the case even now a little bit. You look at Liverpool and Man City. They can play some fancy football, but they've got players who are nasty as well. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne, he's a great player, but he'll leave his foot in. He'll elbow people. He's not bothered, is he? Do you know what I mean? And you need players like that. Or you're not going to. I mean, Dennis Bergkamp used as well, didn't
he? Dennis would put his foot in, man.
Yeah, he got sent off for elbowing. You remember that West Ham game when he elbowed? Who was it? He elbowed him in the face, didn't he? And got sent off in the FA Cup. But
Dennis was naughty, man.
Yeah, but you need that. If you're going to be successful, who have we got in our team now? Everyone moans about Jacques. Oh, Jacques is just a red card waiting to happen. But you actually need players who are going to get stuck in and win the ball and put themselves at risk of getting booked. If you're too nice and just, okay, I'm not going to bother tackling you then. There you go. You're never going to win anything, are you? You've got a team like that.
Even Ian Wright, man. Some of the footage, he used to just lose it.
Oh, Ian Wright was not. That was naughty. That actually, I don't know how he got away with that one. Red card that all day long.
But he used to say that when he played football, he said he played too angry, man. He did. He even said that he was too angry.
I think he needed that though. He wouldn't have been the player he was if he wasn't like that. I think that got the best out of him because he was fired up. Yeah, he was, and he needed to be. I think he needed to be to play the way he did. I don't think he'd have been half as good if he didn't have that. Oh, here we go. Mark Green has just come up with the stats.
Go on, Dean.
So he's given United 16 penalties in 60. He's given us 3 in 64. He has given us 3 though. I'm surprised he's given us 3. Wow.
Yeah, when was the last time, though? Jeez.
Exactly.
That's unbelievable. That I must admit, I'm surprised it's 3. I thought it'd be less than that, but
Mark, quality, man.
Into Man United and 3. That's great stat. That's brilliant. That.
No.
Not really, no.
No, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, I must admit, I don't watch a lot of Champions League because I decided not to watch competitions we're not in.
Why don't
you'd say that?
If we can't win it, I'm not interested, really.
See with the referees, right? What's Pierre Luigi Cleaner doing now, man? Send him over here, man. Bring him over here.
Yeah,
honestly,
he wouldn't do any worse, would he? He wouldn't do any worse than what.
100%. Get him over here, man. Don't care.
I say our best referee, Mark Clattenburg, went over to work in Dubai or somewhere, didn't he?
Yeah, but you say he's a referee. Didn't he give 3 yellow cards to somebody in the World Cup?
Paul.
That was Graham Paul, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh, I knew it was one of our referees did that. I thought that's typical, isn't it? That's one of our referees that did that. 3 yellow cards.
Not many good referees we've had, man. Not many at all.
No, not since the days of what was his name? That Welsh one. Do you remember him going back in the 70s?
Oh God.
No, I don't. I ain't gonna remember that. Bloody hell.
There was a Welsh referee. He was at the World Cup, right? I think it was the 1974 World Cup, right? Brazil are playing Sweden. It's the last minute of the game. It's 1-1. Brazil have got a corner, right? So the Brazilian guy takes a corner. The ball's in the air. He blows his full-time whistle. The Brazilian hits the goal. And he disallowed it because I've already blown a whistle. You can't blow the whistle with the ball's in the air, mate. He was a Welsh referee. Clive, whatever his name was.
I remember the likes of Russell. Remember, you had Uriah Rennie, Paul Durkin.
Oh my God, yeah.
Was it Paul? Was it Aldcock? Was it the one that got
Thomas? That's it. Clive Thomas. That's the ref I was on about. Clive Thomas. I think Mark would know. Jonathan got it as well.
Hugh Dallas from Scotland. I remember him.
David Ellery.
Oh yeah, I remember Hugh Dallas. Yeah.
David Ellery.
David. Jeez. Who's Paul Durkin? Was it? He was a ginger one, yeah.
Redhead, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Paul Durkin, yeah. God, we've had some bad refs, haven't we? Jesus Christ! Wow. Unbelievable,
that's what I'm saying, Rich. Like I said, that for this country not to have any officials refereeing at a major, they should be embarrassed.
Of course they should. Our league's supposed to be the best league in Europe, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's supposed to be the best league. So surely we should have some of the best referees, and none of them got selected for the World Cup. It is crazy, and it is a lesson. And you said the guy running it, Mike Riley, should have been sacked.
Yeah, should go. It's been there too long.
Of course he should. Of course he should.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. But it sums up football in this country, isn't it? Really, it's all like if you're mates with the right person, you'll keep your job and you'll be successful.
Yeah,
that's the way it is, isn't it? It's not about who's good at anything or not.
What's happened to what's his name? Is it Graham Webb? Is it
Howard Webb?
Yeah, Howard Webb. Yeah.
What did he come and do? What did he come and work at the PM?
He loves Man United.
Yeah, but he was just as bad. Yeah, Manchester United. Yeah, he'd always favour them in any match.
How did he get the World Cup final? Actually, to be fair, you know what? For him to not send off, I remember that World Cup final in South Africa.
Yeah.
When the guy Kung Fu kicked, Dion Kung Fu kicked one of the players in the chest.
Yeah.
And he sent him off.
Yeah, because it happened like 1 minute into the match, wasn't it? It was just
straight red card, man.
I mean, Mark Halsey, wasn't he the one who brought that article out about corruption? Was that not Mark Halsey?
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Sure, it was him. Yeah, it was.
Good lad. He knows what's going on, doesn't he, Mark Halsey? He knew the score. He wrote an article once saying, didn't he, that some referees were basically they were intimidated by the opposition, mainly Alex Ferguson, before the game, and they just would give Man United all the dodgy decisions. I'm sure it was Mark Halsey said that in an article, and then he got.
It got to a point in the 90s with United. It got ridiculous. You couldn't get anything there.
Yeah, especially like 9 minutes extra time and all that crap. Yeah,
Fergie time, innit?
Yeah, well, it was, wasn't it? Even his watch.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're gonna play until we score, please.
Yeah. What do you mean you're blowing a whistle after 96 minutes? What's the matter with you? You can't do that. We haven't scored yet.
Unless someone's got been carted off by the St. John's ambulance, there's no need for 8-9 minutes.
Do you remember that game against Liverpool at the Emirates, right? It must have been about 10 years ago, where it was 0-0 for about 98 minutes, and we got a penalty and Van Persie scored. And then from the kickoff, Liverpool got a penalty. Eboué pushed over. I think it was Dirk Kuyt, wasn't it? And then they scored a penalty. So there was 2 goals, the 98th minute and the 100th minute, both penalties in the Premier League game. I don't know what referee that was. That might have been Mike Dean. He's probably still refereeing.
Probably.
That might be one of the 3 penalties he gave us. And he quickly said, I'm going to get the other team one now.
20 years ago, yeah.
Good point, Jonathan.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, obviously, you can't ref the final if your country's in it. Yeah. So all our refs should be in a World Cup final every year then, because England never going to be in it, are they? So they've got a good chance of getting there every year, haven't they? Every single World Cup. Anyway, I mean, the referees, man, it's just no good. They're no good. Ridiculous. Right, before we finish, we need to get a score prediction, don't we? Oh, hang on. Mark's just put their Mark Houses on Twitter. That could be interesting.
Oh,
there you go, Richard.
I think I'm going to be contacting him on Twitter. I might get him on the show. Do you reckon?
Oh, my
God. You actually said yes.
See if he'll come on.
Don't forget Mike Riley
in the Premier League and VAR. He'd love it. He would.
Get Mike Riley to come on, didn't he?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you, I'll get him on. Remember 2005, mate, Old Trafford.
Get Mike Dean on after the match.
Oh God.
Yeah. Mind you, the funny thing with Mike Dean was that footage of him because he's a Tranmere fan, isn't he?
Yeah.
Apparently, when he's not supporting Man United, he's supporting Tranmere. And he was when they went in the playoffs, wasn't he? There was pictures of him when they're celebrating him scoring and that. I thought that was quite cool, actually, to be fair. Ferguson controlled the media and the refs. Yeah, he certainly did.
That Jemba.
Yeah.
Eric Jemba.
Do you remember him? He was great, wasn't he?
He did have some dud buys though, Fergie, man. They weren't all great.
Every manager has a dud buy, mate.
Yeah, but I know about Jemba, man. Bloody hell.
Who did he came in with Cleberson, didn't he? There was 2 of them who came in at the same time.
Yeah. And they still won the Premier League,
though.
Yeah.
They had all them shit players he bought and they still won the Premier League. Ashley Young was playing for them. And they won the Premier League with him.
Karol Poborski all them days, mate.
Yeah, Karol Poborski.
That shows what a great manager Ferguson was, to be fair. He won the league with some crap players, didn't he? You know what I mean? He was unbelievable, really. But anyway, I'm glad he's gone because you knew he definitely wasn't going to win at Old Trafford when Fergie was there.
No.
So at least now we've got a little bit of a chance. I mean, what do we think? Let's have a little score prediction then for Sunday. What do you think, Russ? Are you optimistic or are you not optimistic? What do you think?
I think it'll be 2-1 Man United.
Oh, that's not very positive, is it?
Oh no, it's not. But that's what I feel, mate. Honestly, I just cannot see us winning. Just cannot see us winning. We are so insipid when we go to these big teams, these big. I just can't see us winning, mate. I just really can't.
Is it 29 games now, isn't it? Away.
Yeah, 29. Yeah,
29. So this will be number 30.
We've conceded about 66 goals, I think it is.
Yeah, this will be number 30. Surely it's got to end.
30th time's the charm, eh?
Got to end. Surely it's got to end, isn't it, Albert? Come on, it's going to end, isn't it, Sunday?
Was our last win there 2006, isn't it?
Jeez, yeah, 2006
in the Premier League. Yeah, we won the FA Cup as well. In the meantime,
so that's 14 years ago. 14 years ago.
My head is saying 2-1 United. My heart's saying 2-2. I think Arteta will be happy with a draw. He won't admit it, but I think he would.
No, I think he will. I think he'll be over the moon with a draw.
Yeah, he would.
I mean, I personally think this is our most important game for a long time, actually, because I think if we lose, having lost already to Man City, Liverpool, and Leicester, I think that's not great at all, and that is not good. And I don't think we can afford to lose. So I think it's actually a massive game for us. And
we're 11th for the moment, isn't it?
11th, exactly, yeah. I mean, I know
United are 15th now or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a lot of points in it. I mean, we're 1 win off the second place or something, aren't we? But
yeah, we are, yeah.
I think that this is an actually really important game. And I think because of that, and because of the fact that I don't think we can afford to lose, Arteta is going to be even probably more cautious in this game than he might have been if we'd maybe won the last couple of games and in a good position. I think he's going to be really, really cautious. And I agree. I think he would take a draw. If he was offered a draw now by Mike Dean, I'm sure he would take it.
He would. I think he would. 100%.
Yeah, I definitely do. Yeah. Well, at least Jonathan's optimistic.
Jonathan, what's the score going to be?
We always do well. We're expected to lose. Guaranteed the following week a draw versus Molden, defeat versus Villa. The fans in meltdown. Oh yeah, you can imagine if Villa beat us and Martinez has a storm of that game.
A penalty save in the last minute.
He's going to save a penalty. Yeah.
Yeah, and Leno drops one in his net or something. Yeah, it's a massive game. It's definitely a massive game. I actually think it's our biggest game for quite a long time. Actually, for where the season's going to go. I think if we lose, then I know it's early in the season. You can say, well, we've got loads of time to make it up, and the gap for the top four is not going to be massive. But if we've lost to 4 of them teams already, yes, we've had a tough run of games. 3 away games in a row: Liverpool, Man City, Man United, and Leeds is the next one as well. I mean, that's a tough run of games. But these are games you've got to be able to pick up some points from. You've got to.
True.
And so far, we haven't been able to. I mean, I think we're going to go for. I think Arteta will go for a draw. I really do. I think we're going to be extremely cautious. I think we'll defend. I think we'll defend well. I think we'll have to defend well.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of, can we get a breakaway? Can we take a chance if we get one and get a goal and maybe get a draw? I think I'm going to go for a draw because I don't want to predict. I've never ever predicted an Arsenal loss, even in the bad old days.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we lose, but I'm going to predict a draw. I'm going to go 1-1 actually.
Oh.
We've drawn their last 2 years, and I just think we might draw. And it might be said, yeah, then Spurs away. Is that our next away game? Is it?
We've got in early December, haven't we? First week.
Oh yeah, because there's an international break.
Oh
yeah, that's probably true. Actually,
that's going to be a big game already.
2-1. Oh, he thinks we'll win 2-1, Jonathan. There you go.
They will get a penalty.
Yeah, they probably will get a penalty. So
I think they'll get 2 penalties.
They're definitely going to score.
But they call him Penandes. Penandes, they call him, isn't it?
Penandes, yeah.
Didn't he miss his last penalty he took? That against Newcastle.
Well, you do. You do miss one eventually when you get given so many.
Yeah.
That's true, but yeah, I think they'll definitely get a penalty. But I say I'm going for a 1-1 draw just because I don't want to predict a defeat. So, but I mean, Jonathan,
I'm a realist.
Right. There's many games when we're not expected to win, and they're the ones that we pull something out of the bag.
Not away from home, we don't.
But not against the traditional top 6. We don't. Like we said, it's going to be the 30th game now. But I mean, that run's got to end at some point. We will win one of these games at some point, aren't we? There'll be one game where a bit of luck goes our way. They get a man sent off. It won't be obviously Man United, but someone they get a man sent off. We maybe get a dodgy penalty or an offside goal or something crap happens, and but yeah. So what's that there? Villa home, Leeds away, Wolves home, Spurs away. Yeah, that's our run of fixtures. Yeah,
run, man. I
mean, look at that. If we lose to Man United, right, that'll be 3 defeats in a row, and then we've got these games coming up here. You look at that and you think, Villa at home. Possibly. I don't know. It's a tough game, but you'd think we could maybe sneak that one. Leeds away is going to be tough. Very tough. I mean, Wolves will be tough. They're difficult to break down, and then obviously we've got Spurs. Obviously we'll beat them 10-0, but other than that, the other ones are going to be tricky, aren't they?
I'm actually really. I mean, I like North London derbies anyway, but I must admit, I think with Bell coming to Tottenham, I think it's spiced it up a bit. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it in the sense that let's see how we've got on the results in the meantime. Because if we go into that Tottenham game on the back of 6 defeats, then I don't think I'm going to be looking forward to it particularly.
I don't think Arteta will be there, mate, to be honest.
But if we've gone there on the back of a win at Man United, we've beaten Villa, we've got a good result at Leeds, we've beaten Wolves, and then, we're second in the table, then I really look forward to it because that'll be a great game. But for that to happen, we need a lot of changes, don't we?
Yeah,
we need a lot of changes for that to happen. But it might just take one decent performance, and it might be Sunday. If we go to Man United, put in a decent performance, everything might click. Thomas Partey might have a great game. He might turn it on in that game, and you never know. I mean, I don't think there's a lot to choose between us and Man United, if I'm honest. I don't think there has been for the last couple of seasons. Andrew's back. He was out in the freezing cold earlier, so he must have recovered.
Andrew.
And Jonathan said Bale was rubbish last night. I didn't watch it actually. I just saw the last 5 minutes.
That team could have given them a much more bigger hiding.
Wolves are 2 up at half time apparently as well. Oh, they're playing tonight. Of course they are. Yeah, there's a Premier League tonight, wasn't it? Yeah, so they're 2-0 up anyway. Good. Well, it's not good.
That's why they're playing Monday night. Now it makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there's not much to choose us at Man United. I don't think. I think player for player, you look through it and you think we're very similar. It's just going to be on the day. If we turn up with a performance, we've got a chance of winning. We have.
He's got some key decisions to make in the midfield area, man. Big.
And tactically as well, I think, not just necessarily personnel. I think tactically he's got some big decisions to make in that game, how we approach it. And yeah, I do think he's going to be quite cautious because we can't afford to lose. Definitely not. And whether that decides how we play, I don't know. Let's just hope we can actually turn up in one of these games. You know, a technically big game away from home. I know Man United aren't the same team they were, and that's something like 15th in the league. So it's the equivalent of playing, you know, Watford away under normal circumstances. But it isn't, is it? Because it's Man United, and they've got some sort of. Every time we walk into Old Trafford, there seems to be some kind of holdovers that they've got. Different players, different managers we've had, makes no difference. We still the same result, just can't win, you know. But having said that, you know, it's like we said, 30 games against any of those top 6. So it's not like Man United they've got any more holdovers than the others seem to. And so far we've lost to Liverpool and lost to Man City, haven't we? So we can't lose again. We can't lose 3 league games in a row. Come on, Russ. We can't. Come
on, Russ.
I'm not changing it. No.
I think with Russ, I think we need to see when that team lineup comes out, man. That will determine how I'm going to feel about the game. 100%.
Yeah. It will change. But then having said that, look at the Leicester team. The Leicester team come out, and I thought, wow, that's a great team. That's our strongest 11. We're going to win this game, and that happened. So, you know, you just never know, do you? But yeah, I don't know. I want to be optimistic. I want to be optimistic. I do. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'll say I'm going to go for a draw because I want to try and be optimistic.
Yeah.
And I hope Russ is wrong. And if he's wrong, if he's wrong, he can come back on Monday and we can laugh at that.
What if I'm right? What happens then?
Then we won't speak to you again.
You got to come back on again.
P45.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're out. But I mean, to be fair, it could be anything, couldn't it? This game, to be honest, you know, it could be literally anything, especially as we know who we've got to deal with as well. So it could literally be anything.
You got a picture of him in your United shirt?
I haven't actually. No, I couldn't find one. I maybe should have tried to find one, shouldn't I? But is he going to be fit? That's what we need to worry about.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Let's hope he is. And also as well, let's hope that finally, when I can find him, here he is. Let's hope he can finally score a goal in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Well, come on, Uber, man.
He's due one, isn't he? He's due a goal.
He is.
He's due. In fact, he's probably due to score 2 in one game. Because if you notice with Aubameyang, he won't score for a while. Then he scores them in 2s, doesn't he? So I think if he scores against Man United, I think he'll score 2. He'll either score 2 or none. That's what I'm saying.
He needs to get the chances first, isn't it?
That's the thing. Get the chances.
No, but I'm reasonably optimistic we might draw. If that's not being too optimistic.
We'll see, mate. We'll see. Time will tell, man.
It's your podcast. A positive podcast.
Well, we've got to be positive. We've got to end positively. So, are you going to change your mind on the score?
No, I'm bloody not. All right, a draw then. I'll say a draw, but...
All right, good.
All right.
You say a draw as well, Albert. We all say
on your say so.
2-2, yeah. 2-2.
Let's all say a draw. That's good.
All so right. 1-1 draw. 1-1.
1-1 draw. That's good. Right, that'll do. We've all said a draw.
Probably be 0-0.
Twisting my arm.
Well, 0-0. I mean, we'd have to be reasonably happy with a draw, wouldn't we? Really, with the last 2 results and
what we've seen, absolutely.
Arsenal have not drawn an away game since lockdown, so basically,
actually, that's probably
we can either win or lose. So what is it?
So here you go. Even Andrew's asking, what was your prediction, Russ? He's changed his mind, Andrew. He's changed his mind. He said we were going to lose 5-0, and now he's changed his mind.
5-0.
He said we're only going to lose 4-0 now.
Oh God,
he's feeling a bit more optimistic.
4-4.
Yeah, the Man United team should be interesting. Yeah,
if Oli does that, he'll have the whole of Manchester turn. They'll turn up outside the ground.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
he won't do that. That's mine.
So Jonathan thinks, I think he means Barry will play through the middle. I'm not sure if he will. Be nice if he did, but I'm not sure Arteta's going to be quite that ambitious, if I'm honest. Certainly not to start the game. Maybe later on, if we're losing, he might possibly, because I think we'll see a different Arsenal. That's the one thing I will say is I think we'll see a different Arsenal on Sunday if we go behind. I don't think we'll be as timid as we've been the last 2 weeks. I do think we'll push ourselves to try and get something out of this game if we do go behind. But what we need to do is actually score first and go in front, because it's very rare we even go in front in these games, these away games. Is it very often? We don't. So let's see if we can get in front, and then we may well be able to hold on to a lead because we are defending better. So let's see what happens. But yeah, we'll say draw. So I wonder what Andrew thinks. Actually, Andrew, you should give us your prediction, mate. Where you're in.
Go on, Andrew.
Having a go at Russ's prediction there. You need to tell us what your prediction is.
I know. I think. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just feel it's so important that we don't lose. Honestly, I feel it's so important that we don't lose. But Arteta likes to be clever. He does. Yeah.
That's the thing. He's not predictable. We live with subs, but they're not with the team.
He's right though. Arteta will either get it totally right or he'll get it completely wrong. There don't seem to be a middle ground at the moment, does there?
Yeah.
With him. There you go. He says a shame. Oh, hang on. Wait. 3-1 Arsenal. Look at that. That's what I like to see. That's optimism for you.
Yeah, so you two are suited to the positive podcast together.
You are.
That's good.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? That's what I like to see. Even though it's not going to happen, I like to see it.
And stick a $5 from me on. Go to Corals or Ladbrokes, whatever it is, mate.
Yeah, $5. That'd be about 50
you get a bit back on that, wouldn't you? 3-1.
Yeah, I'll transfer the money to your account.
Mustafi has a false 9. He's not even a false 6, is he, Mustafi?
A false 5, yeah.
I don't know about a false 9. Can you imagine?
Oh my God!
To be fair, he scored at Old Trafford a couple of years ago. Do you remember that when De Gea basically pushed it in his net?
Yeah.
We drew 2-2 the other season, so maybe he could play a false 9. Maybe. Maybe that might. As long as he's away from our goal, probably the better. The further away from our goal he is, maybe the better he might be actually. But we'll see. Well, okay. Well, thanks a lot for coming on, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No worries, mate.
We finally got a little bit of positivity out of Ross in the end. It took a couple of hours, but we got him in the end.
You only asked me to change my mind about 10 times, so it's all right.
Yeah. So just about, so we've got to have 3 shots for. Well, yeah, that's true. We got Emmanuel get a penalty. Yeah, we've been through this, Andrew. We've been through the penalty. Yeah, we've been through it. Well, he's definitely optimistic. I do like that.
He's very optimistic, Andrew.
I thought my draw was optimistic. He's going 3-1. I mean, that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? If we went 3-1, literally, that's Andrew's coming on Sunday night.
That'd be unbelievable.
It would be unbelievable, yeah. It would be
unprecedented.
Very.
It would be, yeah. Do you know we haven't scored more than twice at Old Trafford for about 40 years or something? More than 40 years. So for him to be 3-1, he's quite optimistic. He's changed his mind. He's
Andrew loves me. He really does. He loves me.
He was put under pressure, but he finally changed to a draw.
Under pressure.
But he's caved in. He's caved into.
Yeah, so I caved into the positivity. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's all going well now. So we're definitely not going to lose now. It's decided because I don't think we'll win 3-1 though. But anyway. Well, I'm going to put that back on the screen again so everyone can see that Andrew's predicted Arsenal to win 3-1 at Old Trafford, which will be the first time we would have scored more than 2 goals at Old Trafford for probably in Andrew's lifetime, actually. Might be in my lifetime. I can't remember the last time. I've got to be honest. I'll have to check. Actually, if Mark's still in, when was the last time we scored 3 at Old Trafford, Mark?
Who knows, doesn't
he? If Google's still on, have a look and see when the last time we scored 3 goals in a league game.
Wikipedia.
It's going to have to be. It'll be years ago, 45 years ago. I would have thought it must be.
When you were a lad,
probably before my time, I reckon. Party might announce himself. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope he has a really good game.
As long as people pass to him, he'll be all right.
Well, yeah, he definitely needs to be passed to. Yeah. So I'm just going to see if Mark comes up with this answer. I think it was 1979. Actually, off the top of my head, I think we won 3-0 in 1979 at Old Trafford. 78, around about then. So if Mark can confirm that, that would be absolutely fantastic. I'm sure that's when it was. I seem to remember I did check it once because it was a statistic that was bugging me. The fact that we hadn't scored more than twice there in a game. Even at Man City, we've scored like 3. We lost 6-3, didn't we? What's he put there? Spurs won 6-1. Yes, we know, but that's totally different.
Yeah, United have won at home, but they could be their first victory on Sunday.
Mike Dean had an afro the last time we scored 3. Mike Dean probably wasn't even born. I don't know about anything else. But I think it was 1979. That's what I'm going to go with. So we'll see. Hang on, Mark's give a thumbs up, so he's on the case.
Go on, Mark.
Let's just give him 2 seconds, see if he can find out. See if I'm right. If it's 1978 or 1979, I'm sure. Because we beat him in the FA Cup final. That's it. Well, yes, they sort of are, but have we been a lot better lately?
They still got the players to hurt us, man.
Yeah, and we've still got this poor record there to go against us, and it makes no sense, does it? I mean, all these historic performances, to me, they make no sense because it's different players. It's gone on since 2006. Not one player's the same. We've had 3 different managers now, and why have we not? It's not like we can go there with an inferiority complex. You look at Man United now, like Andrew said there, they're not great at the minute, are they? They haven't won at home, but yet we're still going to go there, and it's probably going to be a similar outcome, isn't it? I think we're all resigned to that fact. I mean, Russ more than anybody else.
Go on, Russ.
It's a mental thing. It must be.
It is.
Mentality.
Willian's won at Old Trafford with Chelsea, right? So he can't have a problem with it. Aubameyang's never lost at Old Trafford for Arsenal because he's drawn there twice, the 2 times he's played there. So he's never lost there. So it can't be a mental thing with them. I don't know. I think Lacazette might have not lost there either. We haven't lost the last couple of seasons. So, I don't know. You think pre-Arteta doesn't count? That doesn't leave us very long, does it?
No, it doesn't.
All them league titles, all them 13 league titles, they don't count. All the doubles, the invincible season doesn't count.
Yeah.
Wow. That's what Tottenham want to believe. Or does he mean Old Trafford? Maybe he's just putting that down to Old Trafford. Perhaps that might be what it is. I still wait for Mark to give me my answer. Actually,
go on, Mark. He's probably watching the Football Terrace.
He's probably watching that.
He's probably got distracted. Well, yeah, that's true. He's due one.
Yeah,
when did goalkeepers ever make mistakes against us? I know De Gea did throw one in his net against when Mustafi scored a couple of years ago, but how often do keepers make terrible mistakes against us? It doesn't happen very often, does it? I don't know why that is. They make them against everybody else, and then they play us, and suddenly they're all like Gordon Banks, aren't they? But anyway, we'll see what happens. So hang on, here we go. Ready? This is even further away than I thought.
Fucking hell, 1963.
1963.
With 43 goals.
That's before England won the World Cup, man. Good Lord.
Wow. Tottenham had only 2 years, won the league 2 years before that. Black and white telly and everything. That's unbelievable. Surely we must have scored 3 since. And is that the last time?
Yeah.
1963. Jesus Christ.
It's a long time ago.
That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Results at okay. So he's only counting results at the Big Six, not trophies. Yeah, okay. That's fair enough then.
Good, Andrew.
We don't want to get rid of all our trophies.
Come on, you guys.
Good to see you back, Cam, in the chat as well. Nice to see you, mate. So we kind of got our answer there, 1963. So if we win 3-1 on Sunday, that would be some record, wouldn't it? The first time since 1963 we've scored 3 there. Have some faith, he said. Old Trafford, that is, yeah. Well, there you go. 1963, last time we scored 3 at Old Trafford. Unbelievable record. Absolutely unbelievable. They've scored 3 at the Emirates about 5 times. They haven't they?
Yeah, I've scored a few, yeah.
So, you know, the Champions League. You remember that Champions League semi-final? Ronaldo scored that ridiculous goal.
Yeah, don't go there.
Jesus Christ. But, see, that never happens to us, does it?
Nope.
It never happens to us.
That's
Us kind of stick together, yeah. We do stick together. Well, most of us do, unless you're on that other channel fighting. We don't talk about that.
I'm going to watch that straight after this.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I think we're all going to watch it. So they're going to get some more views, aren't they?
They've already got 20 million views on it.
It's going to get 20 million and free now. So, so there you go. They're having a bit of a love in there in the chat, Cam and Andrew, as always. So yeah, I mean, you know, at least we've tried to be a bit positive. And so the fact we've got Russ to give us to put a draw, that's probably the most positive we're ever going to get. So we've done well there, I think. So let's just hope that that's an omen for Sunday that we do get a draw. So thanks for you two guys. I mean, where can people find you on social media, Russ? Is it just on Twitter, or have you got anywhere else?
Yeah, just at Rugged Boy 101 on Twitter and just Russ Morgan on Facebook, mate. Yep.
Until you get your YouTube channel, of course.
Yeah, and go up against the other 50 million.
Don't be scared of
compare to you guys. I could never compare to your channels, guys.
Don't be scared of a competition. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. Isn't it?
Healthy competition's healthy, yeah, but not
healthy.
Exactly. And Albert, what about yourself? Where can people find you on social media and stuff?
Yeah, AlbertJTV. My Twitter handle's on the page now. AUMO57. All things Arsenal and football-related topics in general. Check it out.
Yeah, it's a good channel actually. It's
good channel, Albert. Well done, mate.
Really good stuff. It's not just Arsenal as well. You know, Albert does stuff about other stuff to do with football
fantasy,
as well.
Football and all sorts.
Yeah, fantasy leagues and all kinds of stuff. So it's all good stuff. So definitely, if you haven't already subscribed to Albert's channel, definitely do, because it's good stuff. So thanks for you guys for coming on. Thanks for everyone in the chat. Mark, particularly for his fantastic Google work.
Go on, Mark.
That's tonight. Jonathan as well made some good points.
He just asked Alexa, didn't he?
Well, he maybe asked Alexa. But other things are available as well. You know. Unless Alexa's going to pay me to promote them, I'm not going to. Sorry.
Get him on the phone.
We've already promoted Sky enough tonight and BT.
BT, yeah.
We can't be promoting anything. We promoted Mike Dean as well. He's got a good mention, so he needs to pay us as well for that. I mean, we can pass the money on to Mark for Googling all the stuff for us to give us all the information that we need. So, yeah, thanks everybody in the chat. I say Mark, Jonathan in particular, Andrew, of course, who pops in. He was going to come on, but he was a bit busy earlier out in the cold, so he couldn't make it. Whoever else was in the chat, Ben, of course, earlier on as well. Yeah. He was in again, which is good. So, yeah, thanks to all you guys. Brilliant. Really enjoyed it. Russ, are you Russ Morgan? He said.
Yeah. No.
And Mark said, "What's Alexa?" Exactly. Other search engines are
available. Yes,
as we've said. So yeah, brilliant. It's been a good laugh actually. Let's hope that we'll be still laughing on Sunday night as well. And don't forget, of course, you've got your preview show, haven't you, tomorrow?
I have tomorrow. So yeah, thanks, Rich. 11:30. I've got another fellow good with me. I've been meaning to work with him for a while. Oliver, if you're watching, mate, see you tomorrow. Hopefully, you'll tune in and see that 11:30. Well, if not 11:30, I'll put the content out a bit late. I'm not sure when, but I will at some point.
Yeah, I've done a preview video of the Man United game as well, which that's going out about 1 o'clock, I think, tomorrow. Just sort of previewing the game, past results, and all that kind of stuff. Mark's just giving us the thumbs up there as well. So that's been on the channel tomorrow, and then on Sunday I'll be doing a little live video when the team's announced. Hopefully, we can be excited about that, at least for the time being, which will be about 3:30, I think. And then I'll probably do a full-time report live as well after the game if I haven't slipped my wrists by that point. Yeah, we haven't. Well, see, Cam's got a good feeling about Sunday as well. So there is a bit of positivity out there. A little bit of positivity wouldn't go amiss. And
we will enjoy it. We will
enjoy the quick Jeremy Kyle. I'm sure we will. Yeah, that sounds really good. So I'll be doing a bit of coverage on Sunday of the game, and then on Monday I'll probably do a review of it as well. If I'll say if I can be bothered, if it's not that bad. But I'm going to be confident. I mean, Andrew's convinced me we're going to win now. So, he's done well there. Even Russ thinks we're going to have a draw, so that proves how optimistic we all are.
Positivity's rubbing off on me.
It is. You watch. I'll tell you what. Sunday morning, Russ will be saying we're going to win now. You watch. if we're predicting a win.
He's laughing, so I'm not too sure about that.
No, he will. I'm telling you, he will. Don't worry. He's just playing it cool at the minute. He really thinks we're going to win 4-0, but he doesn't want to say it. When his channel comes out, I'll tell you, he'll be going on there. He'll be saying 4-0 every week. 4-0 every week. Russ will be going.
Oh yeah, definitely. You got to think of a name for me. Name for my channel.
Okay, well, that could be maybe we can run a competition on here.
Competition, yeah.
Come up with a name for Russ's YouTube channel.
Yeah, please.
Something really good. That will fit Russ. So
4-0 to the Arsenal, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that'd be good.
4-0 to the Arsenal.
Or 2-1 to the Man United, maybe. But yeah, that might be an idea.
With Mark Goldbridge next week, so I'll be all right. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool then. Yeah, I'm sure that'd be good. Yeah, but maybe get some tips off him because he's quite a positive guy, isn't he? On his channel.
Deluded, I think the word is.
Well, yeah, probably, yeah. So, but yeah, no, maybe we can come up with a name for Russ's new channel. That'd be good.
I'll have a think as well myself.
Yeah, we need to come up with a good name that's going to be going to sum up his channel. You know, mine's a positive channel because obviously it's positive, even though Russ has been on to try to bring it down unsuccessfully.
I'm not as negative as some.
Even Andrew's
not as negative as some people are. So
no, there's a lot work. There's a lot more negative.
This is going to be the thing now. Everyone will be saying it's a negative channel because you had Russ on and he was negative. He's brought the whole vibe down.
Go on, Russ.
Slightly confused. There you go. Look, that's Jonathan's come up with a name for you. Slightly confused Gooner. There you go.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Russ the slightly confused.
I like that. Yeah.
You really want that as a considerable? Oh no, not Russ is going. I like that one.
Go to the niche market.
No, I'm not sure.
I think that's going to work. That actually.
Confused Goon.
I think Jonathan's your first subscriber already.
Yeah. I can count on Jonathan. He'd be all right.
The Russ the slightly confused Goon. That'd be a good show. That actually. Watch that.
Russ, I'll come on for the first episode, mate.
Yeah, it'll come on.
Yeah, just see what sort of clientele we get on my channel. That'll be quite good.
Clientele.
There you go. There's another one. Andrew's can't have a name there.
Russ will lose.
So it's definitely happening. Russ is definitely getting a channel.
Definitely have Andrew on my channel. Definitely.
Yeah,
you've got to get this sorted out because there's a lot of people now anticipating this channel with much enthusiasm because there's a market out there for it. You can't let your market.
There is definitely. Yeah, you got the angry ones. You've got the positive ones, and then you've got the slightly confused ones who sort of flip flop between the two. So yeah, I've got a big market out.
Yeah, you've got an audience waiting for you. You know, you've got a big audience waiting, so you can't let them down. You've got to give them what they want. So there you go. But yeah, so I think that's going to happen. So look out for Russ's new channel, which I'm sure will be coming very soon.
Yeah, go on, Russ.
When he gets around to finding the time to do it.
That's the only thing, mate. It's time. Oh, it's just time. Time.
You can do one video a week. It's fine on a Sunday or something. Do one video a week. That's all you need to do. You don't have to go mad like I do. Do one.
Go mad. 3 a day like Richard.
I've got nothing else to do at the minute, so that's why. I think what can I do today? I'll tell you what. I'll just do another shit video.
Yeah.
I'll just do that.
Go on, yeah. You can do it, mate.
Yeah, Russ has got to do it. We need to get Russ on YouTube as well. We need to get him on there. It'll just be good.
Yeah, but I won't have anybody to come on because you lot all do your own ones. So difficult.
We'll make the time, mate. We'll make the time.
I'm a freelancer at the moment, so I go on everybody else's channel.
Russ versus Brandt.
Russ's brand. There you go.
That's not bad. Russ's brand.
Russ's brand. That's like that. Yeah. Probably get trademarked.
Yeah, probably.
Bloke with curly hair.
You have to get a wig. Just get a long-haired wig and
like
that, and you do that, and then
all right, meow China, like that. Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah. He supports West Ham, doesn't he, Russell Brand? So it'd be quite good.
Problem, yeah.
God, yeah.
You could do like an Arsenal version of Russell Brand. That could be quite good.
Yeah, he's been relevant for the past 10 years, hasn't he? Yeah.
Well, he thinks he is. He still keeps doing stuff, doesn't he? But anyway. But yeah, so there you go. So we just await Russ's new channel, obviously, which will be coming very, very soon. So yeah, but yeah. So thanks to everyone saying in the chat. It's been a good laugh, some great comments as well. And we've decided that Russ's channel is going to be good. And he's never ever.
If we win, I'll start a new channel. There you go.
Oh, look at this! Look.
Oh, come on, Russ. That's bloody poor. That is, mate.
Why not? If we get a draw, we've all said a draw, so surely if we get a draw, surely, come on. Not a win.
You'll get me on Monday.
That's just being silly, isn't it? None of us are that silly to predict a win, are we?
No.
I mean,
We'll probably win about 3-1 now.
Honestly, who in their right mind would predict Arsenal to win away at Manchester United? I mean, who in their right mind would do that? Who honestly would predict Arsenal to win at Man United? Who in their right mind would do that?
No one.
A lunatic.
No one, exactly. Nobody would. So if it's a draw, Russ starts a channel. If we lose, he's never allowed on YouTube again. He's going to be banned. We're going to ban him from YouTube.
And we'll go for the draw then.
Draw, exactly. Right, so we get a draw, and then Russ is going to start a channel, and we'll all go on his first show, and it'll be good. We'll have to get Jonathan on. We'll have to get Jonathan and Mark on as well.
Oh yeah. God.
And Andrew. It's going to be a busy show.
Andrew, love it.
He would, yeah. Of course he would. On Russ's brand show. There you go. That's what it's called.
Russ's brand.
I do quite like that. That's a great shout, that Russ's brand.
Good name, mate.
It is a good name. That's the one we're going to use. That's the one we're going to go
with. Yeah, he's coming on Monday. He said, "Look."
Yeah, when we've won 3-1, he'll be everywhere. And he'll be everywhere.
Yeah, he will be.
He want to be on every
all over the internet.
And what will he be doing? He'll be saying, "I predicted that we was going to win 3-1. I predicted it on Friday." He'll say.
You can get the drinks in with the $5 he's going to put on that score.
Yeah, we'll be able to get a few drinks with that if it comes up.
Yeah.
I don't know what the odds will be, but I'm assuming they're going to be pretty good. I would imagine we'll have to find out. Actually, I'm sure Mark will find out what the odds are.
Poor Mark.
He knows everything else that's going on in the world. Him and his little power Alexa, which is good. But yeah, so yeah, right. So thanks a lot, guys, for coming on today. Thanks for everyone in the chat. Thanks for watching the channel. If you haven't done so, please subscribe and please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a Man United fan on, which was a shame because that would have been it would have been good to have done that. But hopefully next week I can get an Aston Villa fan. So if you know an Aston Villa fan who can wants to come on and have a chat about the game next week, that would be great. Or if you know a Mold fan from Norway as well, perhaps for Thursday, that'd be quite good. If they've got any fans anywhere, I don't know.
Sam can pretend to be one.
Yeah, I suppose he might know one actually, mightn't he? He
would know about them, wouldn't he? I'm sure he's seen them play.
Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Well, they're going to Solskjaer to fan, isn't it? It'd be difficult to get him on, though.
It would be difficult to get him on, yeah. You never know, though. I mean, if we beat
him 5-1, he might be out. He might be out of
a job, but he might want to work. I'll get my mate
You're going to come to YouTube.
Do you want to come on Russ's new channel?
Yeah, it could be my first big interview. Yeah,
that'd be good, wouldn't it? Imagine that.
It'd be fantastic. We knew that was going to lose.
Yeah, definitely. So yes, I say thanks guys for everything. It's been good fun as usual. And I say, if you haven't checked out Albert's channel yet, please do so.
Please do.
Watch his preview show tomorrow as well. That's going to be good. And obviously, you'll all be watching Russ's channel when he finally starts one up after Monday, when he's been embarrassed when Arsenal win and he predicted us to lose. And that can be his first show.
I predicted a draw.
His first show can be titled "I Was Wrong and I'm Sorry." And that'll be the first show he's going to do on Monday when he's wrong, and it'll be good. So yeah, so as I say, obviously check out Albert's channel as well. I say please subscribe to mine if you haven't done. Give it a thumbs up as well. Thanks to everybody in the chat. It's been great fun, and hopefully I say Sunday will be good. I will be doing some coverage of the game, and as well looking forward to next week. The obviously Europa League game again, another one coming around thick and fast every week at the minute, and then obviously Aston Villa next Sunday as well. So we need to start winning some games in the Premier League, don't we? That's the main thing. So let's hope it will be Sunday because That will be good, and Andrew will be right, and we can have Andrew on Monday, and he can gloat, which will be nice. So let's hope so. So cheers, then, guys. As always, come on, you Gunners!
Come on, you Gunners!
Up the Arsenal.
Come on, you Gunners.